Alright everyone, welcome to this re-ranking stream. Today I'm going to play Vaporeon in Pokemon Yellow. I'm really excited about it. I have wanted to re-rank this thing for a long time, so let's talk about why. Currently, in my Generation 1 tier list, this is how things stood at the end of last year. 2023, that is. Vaporeon right now has the top spot in the A tier, and its final time was 45 minutes and 5 seconds. So it did not make it into the S tier by 6 seconds. That's really unfortunate. I only did do 2 attempts with it when I originally played it, along with the other 2 evolutions. And so I figured that it deserves a little bit more work. Generally now I'm putting in at least 3 runs for most Pokemon in Versus videos. So yeah, Vaporeon deserves another go at it. Let's go through it as a Pokemon, and then we'll get right into the run. For base stats, Vaporeon has a huge HP stat, 130. Its attack is 65 and defense is 60, so not as good, but it has 110 special, which acts both offensively and defensively in Generation 1, and it has 65 speed, giving it a 12.5% chance to crit. For a move pool, it gets kind of the standard water type Pokemon moves, so all of the ice moves, all of the water type moves, and in this case, one notable addition, which is Acid Armor at level 47. This move boosts Vaporeon's defense stat by 2 stages, and it will also trigger the badge boost glitch, so I can set up my other stats utilizing this move, which is probably going to be a little bit important for Vaporeon, but not that important. For predictions, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the time down that significantly, but I do think I will be able to get it down a little bit. Please fix Magmar's placement. Well, we'll re-rank Pokemon at some point, but right now that Magmar is where it is. We'll fix it when we fix it. I tried really hard with Magmar to get a run that was good, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Anyways, Vaporeon. I'm gonna do a first attempt, kind of based on. I'm gonna do a first attempt based on some knowledge I have from my previous runs, but not like I didn't go through my notes in depth and like figure out every single fight. Mostly because in the last year or so, we've really refined which trainers you should be battling in the mid game. As a result, it isn't going to be relevant to the former strategy I have had, so I want to kind of rethink or like get a chance to look at this Pokemon a little bit fresh again, and then I'll do a second playthrough today to try and get more refined results. Again, my playthroughs are, they're like speed runs when you don't have 1,000 attempts, so always remember that when going into these. Alright, so Vaporeon only, Pokemon Yellow. Let's do this. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Emerald, so the text speed and stuff looks a little bit weird. You didn't update its last run, that's what I meant. Really? Are you sure? Because this is like technically not a first attempt anymore, I'm going to be going off of like second playthrough rules. So first playthrough rules are always like, I'm essentially just playing the vanilla game with the Pokemon, generally with perfect DVs. Actually always with perfect DVs. That's really it. I just manipulate my starter and then I don't change anything else. But in second playthroughs, we are going to turn off encounters in certain locations so that ranking is as fair as possible. There will also be a forced Pidgey encounter as the first encounter in Viridian Forest. That way I can catch my HM user and there is no variance in time between different runs. I actually got a lot of, I would say, criticism or feedback on that. Like my choices to do those things in Pokemon Emerald, which I find kind of strange because I've been doing them for a long time in Yellow and Crystal, so I don't know. I am going to continue doing these things. I personally just don't think it's fair if one Pokemon has like 15 encounters in Mount Moon and the other Pokemon has 5, and then we're comparing the results, and the one that has 15 is like 30 seconds slower because it had to run away from a bunch of Pokemon when the other one didn't. There are always edge cases with these kind of modifications though, and I will acknowledge that. I don't think that this is like the perfect way to do it. I just think it is the best way to do it. At least with my current understanding. I reserve the right to change my mind later on. Also, my goal is never to mod the game. I'm not trying to change things so that the game is more fun to play, or the game is easier to play, or harder to play. My goal is to just remove random variance that affects ranking of Pokemon. And there are all kinds of edge cases, which I talk about from time to time. In general, I don't have time to go into all the edge cases in every single video. I try to go into them when they're most relevant, like in my Slowbro video. Okay, Brock minimum battles. I think this should be fairly intuitive because Vaporeon is a water type and it's going to just one-shot both of his Pokemon and level up incredibly quickly. There are some worse back sprites out there. Definitely there are some worse back sprites out there. But there are also some great back sprites like Grimer's back sprite. Grimer's back sprite is one of the best. It's got its little hands up in the air. Looks like he's at like a EDM concert or something. EDM Grimer. I'm gonna check my text speed after this. After playing Emerald, this feels kind of slow. I think my ROM has been modded again to make my text speed default to fast at the beginning of the game so I don't accidentally forget. But I'm going to check it right now. I just think things seem kind of off. Yeah, it's fine. It's maddening how your inconsistencies are consistently improving gameplay consistency. Scott, saw you mentioning Gramble vs. Clefable video that you were running Vaporeon. No. Roselia was always going to be Valentine's Day. Actually, I will talk about it also, thanks Fallen Hero, but I'm going to talk about my release schedule just briefly here. My intent for releasing videos was to release a yellow video. The most yellow video of all. The final electric types that I have not done solo challenges with. I was going to release that video as the first video of the year on February 3rd because my intent was only to take 2 weeks off, or 4 weeks off. But then I was forced into 2 more weeks off because all of my files got deleted, and then we had to resync them with my video editor, and it's like a lot. It's like, I don't know, it's like 700 gigabytes or something. It's a lot. And then all the other software that I was using to record certain runs, like I was getting frame rate inconsistencies in Pokemon Emerald where it was going down to like 225 frames per second, which is like over 5% less frames than I should be getting, which is dramatically going to affect results. So I couldn't record any runs and I just had to troubleshoot that, and like there were just so many problems that I was running into. So I think a couple things show, like the Roselia run, I made a mistake. I should have gone with a modest nature for the second playthrough, but I didn't because my head, and I also like forgot to give it poison point in the first playthrough when I should have. But that's just because like I was playing a bunch of Pokemon on stream that only had one ability, like Mewtwo specifically, and so I wasn't thinking about checking to see if it had 2 abilities, and I just like went with Natural Cure, which was the default. So kind of sloppy. Overall, my Emerald series is my sloppiest, I think. I'm trying to improve that, and this year I'm really hoping that I can put in a lot of work that'll make me better at Emerald specifically. I have a lot of health, and I have Sand Attack, and Bubble Beam is really good, so we're gonna get it. Now, Bide against Misty is sometimes not a great strategy. We'll see how it goes today. Peter says, obviously, I was just having a little fun with the last one, basically saying that you change your runs a lot, but every time you do, it does make sense. Oh, yeah. I like, early on in the channel, I had the choice, which was, like, do I constantly update the rules and, how I'm doing everything to make stuff fairer and better as things go forward, or do I just keep it the same for internal consistency across my content? And, like, the more and more I think about it, the less and less it always made sense to try to keep things internally consistent. So it eventually just came to the place where I was like, no, I'm just gonna make the changes when I need to make the changes, and like that's how we do things. Okay, this is like really bad. A water gun might actually be doing more. It is. It won't if I crit, which is unfortunate, but Vaporeon's crit rate isn't that high, and the Starmie is like being awful right now. Okay, thanks, Misty. I don't think I should have. I don't think I should have won that one. But we get Bubble Beam now. Obviously, replace Bide, and then I have 2 water moves, which extends my PP. And whenever you can extend your PP, you gotta go for it, right? Yeah, Peter. It came down to this idea of like, do we just make things as unchanging as possible for consistency, or do we really like try to improve things overall? And I wanted to bake in the sense of like, I wanted to bake in innovation into my channel so that I'm not sitting at something looking at it and going, I can make this better, but I can't because I need to be internally consistent. That was just like, that seemed like a really bad logical flaw that I could walk into, because then I'd be 3 years from now and things wouldn't have been better, but I would have all these like tools available at my hands, but I wouldn't be able to access them because I'm trying to create some sense of internal consistency. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to do things like seasons. So like 2024 is going to be another season where I'm going to like lock in some more like tools and a bunch of different things that were like the anti-spinner technology and stuff like that. Then we'll use this for a while, and slowly we'll get closer and closer to what I think is more ideal circumstances to rank things with. It's never going to be perfect. Like, it really biases the results towards slow Pokemon right now, because if you run into encounters, sometimes you get stuck with slow Pokemon. Also, I was made aware of the fact that Intimidate and Illuminate they affect wild encounters as abilities. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. So like a Pokemon with Intimidate it will get 50% less encounters when walking through grass. And a Pokemon with Illuminate will get 100% more encounters when walking through grass. So Illuminate's really bad. And then I looked at it, and every Pokemon that gets Illuminate, I can just take the second ability, so I never have to deal with it. I also don't think Intimidate is that good in a solo challenge, because a lot of the leads on the opponent's team are not very strong, and having to watch the Intimidate text play every single time you enter a battle actually wastes time. Yeah, anyways. In this case, I think Bubble Beam is just... It is. I looked at the router, so Bubble Beam does more damage to the Oddish when compared with Quick Attack here, so just spam Bubble Beam. So in that case, like a Pokemon with Intimidate has a disadvantage if I turn encounters off on the first routes of the game, because it should be the case that on average they get less encounters. The issue is that leaving encounters on as they are in the default game is not fair, because there will always be a degree of variance, and I don't want there to be any variance for ranking fairness in those places. And it's like, I'm only going to turn it off on the encounters off on the earliest routes in the game, because I have to buy repels and make that choice in the playthrough to repel Pokemon beyond those areas. Those are just the areas where I cannot use repels because they're not available to me yet. And I could hack in repels and put them in slot 1 or something like that and then use those. Now it feels like we're changing the game. What I would rather do is turn the encounters off, because then essentially what we're doing is we're applying the same logic that I apply to my Pokemon's DVs, but to the overworld. Basically, when the game assigns RNG to the solo Pokemon, take the best possible case scenario, which for DVs is perfect DVs, and for encounters is no encounters. For instance, I could compare this with the worst possible scenario, which would be like all of the encounters, like every viable patch gives an encounter, and my DVs are all set to 0. That's worst possible case. We need this, so we have to get it. I think, okay, so Quick Attack does do more to the Tentacool because it has ridiculous special, but Bubble Beam does more to the Staryu. I'm gonna knock it out with Quick Attack at the end. And then I'll use the Ether that I just picked up to restore my PP on Bubble Beam so that I can continue through this area and beat Surge. Also, Vaporeon does get Bubble Beam, or it does get Body Slam. Yeah, my goal is, like, I would really like to get, at the end of this whole process, to look at the tier list and go, you know, outside of, like, side-by-side variation, which is, like, if a Pokemon is right next to another Pokemon in the tier list, like, you should assume that either one of them can perform slightly better than the other one because they're so close to each other. And I realized that as I got further into this project, it's like, when you get, like, I have 89 Pokemon ranked now, and once I do all the re-rankings, it will be over 100. And by the end of the year, we will have, like, I don't know, it'll be like maybe 12 runs left or something like that by the end of this year. So when you get a lot of Pokemon, then the results start to converge. Like, the available time space gets very, like, saturated densely with results. So there's only like a 15 to 20 second difference between adjacent results. That was the thing that really made me realize that I need to turn encounters off, because if I don't, there will be so much variance between Pokemon that are right next to each other in the tier list. Like, okay, basically any Pokemon within this tier can outperform any other Pokemon in this tier. That just doesn't seem like a fun place to be when all the data comes in at the very end of all of this. Okay, Surge, we just gotta pray here that he doesn't Thunderbolt too much. Okay, one Thunderbolt will survive. Ah, paralyzed! Then second Thunderbolt, reset to Surge. Okay. Not great, but it is never the better choice to come back to Surge. You will always waste more time, with the notable exception of when you need to pick up Psychic. If your Pokemon wants Psychic as soon as possible, then backtracking through Saffron City, you're already going to be doing that, so why wouldn't you just get Psychic and then come back to face Surge? But that's, like, so rare. In this case, it always just makes more sense to fight Surge, take the quick reset if it happens, and then try again. Yeah, I figured out why Hariyama got guts. We're like assigning, so like the software is not eloquently modifying the Pokemon in the beginning of the game. It's doing it, it's just not doing it efficiently. So ability is tied to the same 4 bytes that I didn't save there. I probably should have saved there. Okay, we didn't get paralyzed. We're fine. If you don't get paralyzed by the first Oddish, this fight is not difficult. But if you get paralyzed by the first Oddish, then this fight is absolutely awful to get through. And most water types struggle there against her. Yeah, it's annoying that these 3 Pokemon don't learn Dig. If Jolteon learned Dig, so much would be different. And Vaporeon. Just in general, though, electric types are the ones that really need good coverage. Water types can kind of make everything happen with what they currently have. Although they tend to struggle against the yellow champion, but most Pokemon do. Scott, once you complete your vanilla yellow Pokedex tier list, do you plan on expanding to backports first, or move updates some other consistent theme first, or are you going to hop around a bit? I don't want to, like, I have the plans, but I don't want to necessarily, like, talk about the plans just yet. There may be some variation in terms of what I end up choosing to do, but I want to give myself the ability to kind of change my mind if I see fit over the next little while I'm still figuring out exactly how I want to handle things. Okay. Just for everyone's peace of mind, I don't intend on stopping playing Generation 1. I believe that I have enough content or ideas for Generation 1 stuff to do for many, many, many more years to come without even exhausting all the vanilla content. So there's lots to do with these games after I finish Yellow. I just don't want to be like that person that never finishes a series or takes like 8 years to finish a series. If your series takes 8 years, I feel like you've done something wrong. Like you should be getting through something faster than that, especially when there's this number of Pokemon. Like a TV show that's like runs like 150 episodes, but let's say each episode it's like a sitcom or something, and you do like 24 a year. It's like that's going to take 7 years or 8 years, but generally that to me it feels like too long. Like I would rather it just kind of like get to the point and not become overextended. Like of all the water types, how much does Body Slam stratify their outcomes? Body Slam is not that important for water types in my opinion, because the reason water types really struggle is electric types in the league and slow fight against Lorelei. So like Lorelei is really slow, it's not hard, it's just slow. And that affects like Vaporeon specifically. Like we're going to see it when I get there. Like the Lorelei fight is going to take some time. Oops. Not a lot of oopses today, even though I've been reading chat and stuff. Like, playing pretty well. Supernatural feels attacked right now, yeah. I don't want to do that. That's what I don't want to do. And like, it's fine to like my goal is kind of like be the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And like I'm saying that knowing that like I will never be the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but like it's an analogy. So there's going to be at least one person that comments saying, wow, this guy's so full of himself. Compared his content to the, no, I'm trying to explain something with an analogy. My analogy is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe where it's like, let like one story come to conclusion, but then continue doing other things. Like, that's fine. We can debate if the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of feeling stale now or not, but I don't know. I also think what I'm doing is less storytelling and more sports broadcast. It's like sports broadcast with storytelling elements, and sports broadcasts very much do have storytelling elements, like stats for the players and like how they're doing in this particular season, that kind of thing. And when I think about it like that, it's like, well, I can just keep doing this, but like, let's wrap up, like, I don't know, the first season of the sport. Let's see who actually takes home the first trophy before continuing. Again, all of these are imperfect analogies, but hopefully they help you understand my thought process a little bit. So I'm only going to get the Ice Beam TM because I'm not going to get another vitamin, even if I do sell the other TMs. So it'll just be wasted time, and that doesn't make sense. Obviously, we're going to teach Ice Beam right away in the place of Sand Attack. I don't need it anymore. Tends to be keeping it on your set is not a good idea. How many runs are left in yellow? If we consider runs that I haven't done that don't need redos, it's very few. It's probably less than 30. And remember, a lot of them are going to be versus videos, so that kind of thing. But if we consider runs if we consider runs that do need redos as well, then I currently have ranked in my tier list 89 Pokemon. Like here, Body Slam is not as good as Bubble Beam because of my special, so. And again, like, because of my special, it makes more sense to spam Bubble Beam against the Shelter as well. Hey Speedrunner, how's it going? Good to see you here. Yeah, get a good break from your video editing. Love the thumbnail glow-ups. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad that people are enjoying the new style thumbnails. I spent a lot of time working on those when I was developing the Platinum series. Because my idea was like, the Platinum series will come out, it's a new generation, so we'll give like the slightly updated styling for the Platinum series. And then when official content starts back up in January, I'll give the new thumbnails for all these other videos. It took me longer to get the first video out, but yeah. Anyways, the first video was supposed to be in yellow, so I had to rotate everything, and then I missed the release of Granbull vs. Clefable. So it got pushed back, so it was released on the incorrect day. It was supposed to be on Saturday, and then Roselia was supposed to be on Wednesday, and then next Saturday will be the next video. And then Thursday streams, always, throughout this month. I'm gonna try and stream at least once a week throughout the rest of the year. Twice a week might be too much. We'll see what happens. Oops. Very sloppy. Gen 5 coming in 2025. Technically, next up would be Heart Gold and Soul Silver if we're following chronology that I have before. Oh yeah, Hariyama, the ability issue was the bites that set the Pokemon's ability also control its IVs. So if you don't understand programming terms, I'm going to explain some of them for you now. They're kind of cute actually. They're based on like eating things, it seems like. So you have a bit, which is like either a 1 or a 0. It's binary. A bit. And then you have a nibble, which is 4 bits. And then you have a bite, which is 8 bits. So you can put bytes together and then get larger sequences of data or larger numbers, that sort of thing. In the case of IVs, the developers have placed 4 bytes together, so that's 32 bits of information. And the bits are arranged in pentads, so 5 bits at a time. That takes up a total of 30 bits, so not the full 32, leaving 2 bits left over at the end of the structure. That also, a bit pentad can hold a value between 0 and 31, which is why IVs are ranging in that range. Terrible sentence. Apologies. The final 2 bits, essentially the most significant bits, so the ones that hold the largest values, those bits is the Pokemon an egg? So if it's set to 1, then the Pokemon is an egg. And the final one is the ability of the Pokemon. So if it's set to 0, then it's the first ability, and if it's set to 1, it is the second ability. Use all my antidotes? I guess so. I have a full restore. I'll just use that. Vaporeon's great. We don't have to, like, worry. I don't want to go by the Fuchsia City Pokemon Center. It's going to take time. Anyways, so what has to happen then if we're going to edit the ability and also assign the correct hidden power? We have to edit this entire 4-byte structure essentially all at once. And if we mess it up, then it will get the wrong value. And then we also tried to build a UI thing so that it would show you which ability you have, and by doing that I broke the function that was doing all of this. So it was setting the value of the bit, or trying to set the value of the bit to a string rather than to a Boolean. That's just in case I accidentally try to use Squirtle. Okay. Should have forgot Water Gun, but I clicked too quickly. Doesn't really matter. Peyton, they switched where the abilities is held starting in Generation 5. So they moved it to its own they moved it to its own like bite, and then the bite holds an index. So it's like each move or each ability has its own index, like 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. And then the bite in the structure holds that index for whichever ability the Pokemon currently has. And that's how they account with hidden abilities moving forward. In future playthroughs, I will not be accounting for hidden abilities outside of like special videos that I might make occasionally here and there. Like it'll have to be a special run if I'm gonna do a hidden ability. Gen 5, the issue with setting stuff in Gen 5 currently is that I don't have write access to the RAM. So we can view everything that's happening, but I can't write something back to it when certain conditions are met. So right now with Gen 4, I'm having to use pkhex, pause the game, take my save file, edit the data, and then re-inject it into the game. That'll change soon. I was hoping in January, but obviously we are past January now, so it has not happened yet. But I was hoping that in January it would change, but hopefully we're going to have it'll be done, I don't know, in the next 2 weeks or so. Which Pokemon do you expect to perform the best in Emerald? That's a tough question. It's not going to be a Psychic type. Psychic types, I think it will be a Fighting type in the end. Maybe it will be a Psychic type because it's Medicham. Medicham might be the best. Medicham is really good. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough experience with Emerald to really like say yet. I just know that like whenever I sit down to do a run, my first thought is always, if it's a fighting type, it's going to do well. Fighting types are just great. Psychic types don't do well because Calvin at the beginning of the game. They get like there's like an immediate handicap that they have to overcome. So if they start with only Psychic type moves, they have to struggle past him, which sucks. It takes so long. Like Mewtwo, just like, yeah, Swampert will not do that well. So far in my experience, like Swampert is the worst of the 3 starters. But I think when I do redos of the starters, Sceptile will perform the worst, and Swampert will perform second, and obviously Blaziken is the best. But that should be obvious to everyone. That thing is a beast. Like bulk up, fighting, it's just great. Okay, last time I did the rival at level 40, there is a lot of high yield experience that I have left on the table, but I'm gonna go into it now because, like, why not? I should probably just PP up Surf, I think, because I'm gonna be spamming that for most of the game, and if I can avoid Pokécenter trips, like, that'll save time. Okay, so Surf the Sandslash, keep surfing on the Cloyster. Body Slam, yes, has higher effective power, but Surf is going to do more damage, which is hilarious. Magneton, continue surfing. It's going to do more damage. It's going to 2-hit. We just hope we don't get paralyzed by Thundershock, which it didn't. Body Slam for Kadabra. 95.5% chance to knock out in 1 turn. So, yeah, really easy fight for Vaporeon. Swampert is amazing if you're casual. It's also amazing if you switch it out before the league. Like, it crushes the first 8 gyms. But then it falls off real hard once it gets to the league. That was the thing I didn't realize when I was like originally playing Swampert. I was like, this is the speedrunning Pokemon. I'm expecting great things. And then I got to the league and like it just fell apart and I got really sad. and decided not to release the video for like 6 months because I felt I felt bad about it. It's like my performance is too bad. I'm clearly not a speedrunner. I need to go back to the drawing board. My first year of playing Emerald was kind of rough, and my first year of playing Fire Red was kind of rough because I made business choices around the series and didn't just give it to everyone for free. But now it's available, so anyone can see it. I should have just done that from the start, but I'm inexperienced at this. I'm still learning how to do things, so give myself a little bit of grace. It's okay to change your mind. But Platinum will not be that way. There'll be regular Platinum releases all throughout the year this year. I don't think Vaporeon needs Blizzard. It has enough special attack that it can one-hit all of Lance's Pokemon with Ice Beam. So then there's not really a reason to get Blizzard and just miss 10% of the time. Like, once you get the KO in one hit, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. You just need to KO in one hit. Yeah, speedrunners catch the box art legendary, what Austin said. And that's when I realized, like, oh, Swampert is like, it's good for a solo run or a speed run, but like only to a point. After a certain point, we start losing. It's really unfortunate. Well, I got another one of these. And I beat Sylph, so you want to keep all your full restores till you beat Sylph, or one of them at least, because you usually get poisoned in those fights. Okay, hopefully we can one-hit the Venonats. Okay, 86.5% chance on the third one. And then 74.6% chance to two-hit the Venomoth. I crit! Okay, well, perfect. Blizzard is really good. It's definitely one of the better moves in Generation 1. I just don't like the small PP. Whenever I can have, like, all the PP, that's what I want. I don't think I need Toxic. I'll happily swallow those words if I end up needing it in the second run. So we're fighting all the high yield experienced trainers in the mid game. Just to get as much EXP as possible. I don't want to go into the league overleveled. Why not use Ice Beam on the flying type Venomoth? Yeah, you're right actually. I should have done that. Sorry about the mistakes, you know. This year, many streamers start to stream on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Yeah. I could do that. I don't know if you want me to stream over there. I can't watch both chats at the same time. That's going to be, like, completely overwhelming. I don't know. Like, as a platform, Twitch just isn't, like, my place. Because I post all my videos here, so it seems like, for me, it would be most convenient for everyone to just have everything all in one place rather than spread stuff out. I never really got the idea of, like, I'm gonna make a VOD channel or something. It's like, just make a playlist. Like, it's okay. Where was the reset? It was at Surge. By the way, counterintuitively, the guy in here with a Rapidash is the fastest experience per second. He only has one Pokemon on his team, though. It's this guy, so I'm gonna fight him. Now, this is a re-ranking run. There's no changes to the rules in yellow version this year. I might change the wording of the rules to try and clarify the stuff around Mimic. With Double Team, because that's always, like, I always have to explain that, and I don't like explaining it. I'd rather just, like, be clear within the rules. So I might change that a little bit, but I'm not going to change anything else. Okay, so Blaine was really easy, as we should expect. Now we get Acid Armor. Obviously, Aurora Beam hasn't been useful, so put Acid Armor there. Beating Blaine gives me a boost to my special. Then I can go and beat Sabrina next. Oh, Streamlabs can combine the chats? That's cool. Okay, so I think we rare candy before Sabrina. We just leveled up, we got acid armor, and Vaporeon is fantastic. I've actually overleveled. 100% I have overleveled in this run. Like, no way I need to be that high. What caused my one reset? Thunderbolt. I'm not faster than the Alakazam. It's fine though. Crit. Okay. Sure. If I did this like a year ago when I did it before, I think I probably invested in Carbo to outspeed Giovanni's team. As a new viewer, I enjoy that the TM for double team is banned until 100. Not evasion altering. Yeah, evasion altering strats are like, they're generally not that interesting. Again, like my stuff is filled with contradictions, so like I am biasing results towards electric and fire types by allowing people to mimic double team, and poison types mimic double team from Giovanni. If I just banned it outright, all those Pokemon would immediately get worse results. I think they would have to use the mimic dig strategy with paralysis. It's not as good, but it can achieve similar results. Go watch the Legendary Birds video if you want to see that play out. Do you plan to run each Pokemon in each gen? Such as Vaporeon and Emerald? Eventually, yes. I will do this. I love doing this, by the way. This is like the most fun thing ever. I will continue doing this as long as people watch. And probably for a while after people stop watching. So, if you're still showing up and you want to see me do runs, I'll keep doing them. And yes, I plan to do... I think... I'm hoping to do every Pokemon in Gen 1, 2, and 3, at least. Like, that would be... Alex Metal Person. Thank you for the gifted subs. It would be a dream come true if I was able to complete all the games. All the first three generations. I think that would be just amazing. Want more speed. Okay. Now, and I also want to, like, let Supersonic wear out a little bit. Okay, I should snap out. If I don't, it's going to be... Yeah, okay, good. One hit the Magneton. One hit Kadabra. Vaporeon's a beast! Look at this thing go! Yeah, the paralysis dig strategy is fun. Okay, heading to the Victory Road. I was recently watching an exceptional video. Check out his channel if you want to see more solo run content, especially in Generation 3. And he said, I enter the Pokemon League. And I took a double take because enter the Pokemon League, does that mean enter the Hall of Fame? Or arrive at Victory Road? Or arrive at Indigo Plateau? It was like one little wording thing like that really was like, oh. Those are moments when I like learned the benefit of language and trying to be as precise and clear with your communication as is possible. So now in my videos you'll probably hear me say like, inside Indigo Plateau I buy full restores at the mart, or after arriving at Victory Road, or after entering the cave. And then reserving the word enter. So it's like arriving inside, use those words for Victory Road and Indigo Plateau, and use entered for a Hall of Fame exclusively. Exceptional is one of those people, and like I don't know what his story is, but I watched some of his earlier videos and I was just sitting there like, wow, he was really good right from the beginning. Like, why couldn't have I been really good from the beginning? It always feels like if you look at my first video, in my opinion, it does not seem like the same kind of like, oh, it like arrived kind of fully formed. Like, no. It was like pretty bad for the first little while. It was rough and it took time before it finally manifested into something that is decently watchable. Is it Sky Attack? Yeah, I think that TM's Sky Attack. We don't want it. The other item we don't want. We know that. Takedown. Yes! Now it'll rest. Good. Okay, so this is why Lorelei is awful. Oh, she's super potioned. Okay, I thought the Dugong was going to heal and I was going to have to take more time to knock it out. But if, okay, Supersonic there is annoying. Hopefully I get the Mimic off on the Slowbro right away. Oh, I do. Sweet. So then I'll steal Amnesia and set up, which again takes more time. It's setting up Amnesia at the same time, so that slows things down when I attack because they only have special moves. Crit, okay, nice. Still a 2-hit, but then from there with my outrageous 805 special, I'm going to sweep her team, so... Not the longest fight, but it's not like speedy fast where you're like an electric type and you just one-shot all of her Pokemon. Y5 full restores. That's a habit. It should be 4. And I think with some Pokemon, you can, like in this case where I'm not going to heal for Bruno, I think it can be less. Like you could buy 3 or 2 for slightly faster results. That said, it's a habit of mine of like, what if I mess up and drop one or something like that? Then I'm like, I'm terrified. Because when I first did these challenges, I only did 1 run. And you really don't want to accidentally mess up and not be able to complete your run right before the end. Also, I have 1 more speed than this Gengar, which is cool. It can't Toxic me if I have a substitute in place. I'm just going to set up fully so that I do maximum damage. Remember, badge boost glitch is good. Is acid armor needed? I don't know. We'll check after. I think I probably need some acid armor set up so that I can 3-shot the Dugong. Because if I'm not 3-shotting the Dugong, it can infinitely rest on me and waste all my time. So I just want to set up enough that I know that I'm 3-shotting the Dugong. And I figured like fully setting up was fine in this case because she went for first turn takedown. This sucks. The Gyarados is bad. I want enough speed to move first against the Aerodactyl. I have it now. Go. Come on. No! But we should be fine. Even if we have low health, it's going to be fine. Actually, the stats cap at 999 in this case. In Generation 1 and 2, the stats cap at 999. They stopped capping at 999 in Generation 3, because the game just calculates your stat right before it uses it every time damage is dealt in battle in Generation 3, but in this game it actually stores it at a location. So, last time I had Rest. I think Rest is the safer choice here in comparison with Mimicking Earthquake. Mimicking Earthquake... Yeah. Mimicking Earthquake is like, I have seen before not to play. Because you generally don't one-hit the, what's it called anyways? You don't one-hit the Magneton, even if you have Earthquake. I'm like 5 levels higher than I was last time with Vaporeon, and we're going to have roughly the same time. Which is, that's nice. This thing's just going to spam Leech Seed so I can heal. Before the Magneton. Okay. Now we hope. Let's pray. Come on. Ah! Okay, Thunderbolt is way better. Okay, maybe not. Not when it crits. Yeah, Acid Armor, that's the animation for Acid Armor. Because it turns on animations for the champion. Let's see about this. Oh. Oh. Well, everything fell apart there. Yeah, just setting up against the Sandslash is better. We know that now. No, don't surf this, obviously. If I miss on the Magneton, I lose. Okay, we have a range there. Cool. Oh, the crit from the Cloyster. Just don't crit again. Oh, I want to rest. Gosh, are you kidding me? You're kidding me! Well, that misclick cost me. By the way, this is generally like water types are really fun to play in a solo challenge, usually until you get to the final battle. The final battle, water types, in my experience, they just kind of fall apart. No, removing the Gen 1 miss is not, I'm not interested in doing that. Like, to remove the Gen 1 miss is to fundamentally change the game, and like, I don't want to fundamentally change the game. I want to account for RNG in the overworld that is not something you need to account for during a battle. Removing the Gen 1 miss is fundamentally changing how a battle will play out. That doesn't seem correct. Yeah, this cloister crits more than it should, I agree. It's really annoying. And knocking it out with a water type is just like, ugh. And you think like, okay, go with the Vaporeon team so he doesn't have cloister. It's like, there's a crit again. Yeah, you would think that that would be easier, but it's not necessarily because the Vaporeon has so much HP and a lot of special. So it ends up being the case that we just get really slow here when fighting the cloister. One thing we could play around with is Toxic, so you can use Toxic against the cloister and then you remove Ice Beam. It might be faster here, but Acid Armor in combination with Rest should be enough to get by this thing. It just needs to not crit with Spike Cannon. Okay, we're good. Okay. So the first playthrough today, 48 minutes and 12 seconds with 3 resets at level 64. Honestly, decent results. 2 resets to the champion, mostly just player error, and then 1 reset to Surge. I was like 5 levels higher than I was last time. Last time I went into the champion at 58. So this is definitely, I just did too much training in this case. So our number 1 goal with this run is going to be cutting out battles. Yeah, last time my game time was 2 hours and 57 minutes. 5 minutes faster, but that's not a lot of time actually, when considering that that's 1 times speed. So yeah, I think I can get this time down significantly. Oh yeah, sub 45 should be in the bag, like for sure. I think the delaying rare candy use was probably the biggest problem that I had in this run. I think I can just like use the rare candies way earlier into the playthrough. Okay, let's look at some damage ranges. I'm just gonna move this or make it bigger so that I can see everything because I currently can't see everything. Okay. That might be a little bit too big now if you can't see everything. Just a second. We gotta compress this a tiny bit. Resizing this program is a challenge, by the way. It does take a significant amount of time. Okay, so let's look into the run and we'll see what we can do. So the first thing I usually do with this is I'll just select all the trainer battles and rare candies so we can just see like the distilled version of the route as simple as is possible and then start manipulating from here. In this case, most of the training, the optional training I did was like I trained against some hikers, cue balls and stuff. These are pretty good. The first one is the least good of these 3, the guy with Grimer, so like we'll remove him. Also, I did not have guarantees on those Grimers when I looked at them. See? Oh no, this is the wheezing guy. This is the guy. See? Not guarantees. 71% chance. Like, let's just get rid of that. That's just going to waste time. This cue ball is decent, but no 1 hits, so remove him. These are 2 hits, but they're really good experience, so it's probably worth both of these battles. The cool trainer is all 1 hits in Erica's gym, confirming that, yes. Erica is not 1 hits at level 34. Okay. So maybe we do Erica after Sylph, and then rare candy and Sylph to get through it quickly. then back to Erica, then Koga. We can reorder that. So now we'll put Erica after Sylph. Then we go into Sylph. This is Machoke guy. 4 trainer guy. 4 trainer guy. Electrode Muck. We can get rid of that one. It's not that good. 5. Whenever you're fighting a team with 5, it's good experience. So if we fight all of these, that gets us to what? Level 37 right here, and we should have 6 or 7 rare candies. Probably 6 in this case. 7 rare candies. Okay. Oh yeah, I did hideout. Actually, sorry, we gotta go back to the other one. Over here we can get a whole bunch of other information about the run. So in this case, like percent to next level, that's what this means. Percent to next level. So when I defeat this last rocket, I have 23% towards my next level. That's really inefficient. So we should cut someone so that I'm just over the level threshold. That's the Arbok guy. So the 5 is the most out of the way of these trainers, but I think the 4 at the beginning, the 4 team person, is the worst experience yields. So we can see that in this experience per second column. This guy is 143. The scientist is 170. So we're going to remove that 4 trainer. And then now we have on this rocket, we can get rid of this for now so it doesn't switch. It's taking a lot of time. Now we get, after last Pokemon, we level up, but we still have 75. So that's not quite as tight as I maybe would want it to be, but we might not need to really refine that too much. For now, let's just go rare candies here, because this typically is the best place to use them. That gives them that, like, gives you that mid-game boost, where you just, like, you go over the threshold that a lot of the trainers have, and or the level increase that a lot of the trainers have. Yeah, this makes this fight. Well, this fight was already easy, but more health is going to be great. An alternative option is using rare candies before Erica and then coming to Sylph. I like it a little bit less because I'm going to be an overall lower level, and then if I do training in Sylph, I'm training at a higher level, which makes less sense. Okay, so Koga, maybe we'd take out the second tamer. Maybe the first one too, I don't know. What are the ranges against his Venonats here? All 1 hits now. That's really simple then. Let's take out the Fisher. Take out the Super Nerd, then fight Blaine. That's 48 now. Surf. Doesn't one hit the Arcanine, but I should be fine. Takedown's its best damage range, and it has to 2-hit. It can't 1-hit, even if it crits. Sabrina at 49. Body Slam no longer has 1 hits, so we should probably use the other 4 candies here. That will take us to 53. It doesn't give me 1 hits with Body Slam, so a little bit unfortunate there. Oh, I can't use 4 candies. I can only use 3 because one of them's from Victory Road, unless I go to the power plant. Going to the power plant is completely out of the question. It'll take 40 seconds. That's just not worth it with Vaporeon. That gets us to 52. Then we have mandatory trainers in Giovanni's gym, and then we fight Giovanni. We 1-hit everything except the Persian. It's not that scary. Doug Trio can 1-hit us because we underspeed, so it can use Fissure or Sand Attack, which would be annoying, but Earthquake and Dig do not do that much damage. Should be fine. This guy is fine because we 1-hit the Execute. We do not 1-hit the Magneton, and we do have Acid Armor by this point. So if we set up, can we 1-hit the Magneton? Yes, we can. Okay, full setup there to 1-hit the Magneton. Then we arrive at Lorelei, level 55. Obviously here we are going to be mimicking Amnesia. The goal is, or how much do we need to set up with Acid Armor to get a 3-hit range on the Dugong? Just twice. It doesn't really improve stuff to set up again. We could even chance it on the 77.5% damage range here with just 1 Acid Armor setup. That would be possible. See if Acid Armor helps on Kadabra. Like I could, but then is the Abra going to like, if I acid armor here for the Kadabra, like, she could potentially flash me with the Abra, and I don't know if I want to get flashed. And, like, I have a lot of health and a lot of specials, so I can kind of tank her hits. I think we should be fine without it, honestly. Like, Body Slam can paralyze too. I think, or crit. Like, if I crit, I'll knock it out. And if I crit here, sometimes I'll knock it out. So, I think maybe going offensive, there's a little bit more, like, reward. But we can try the acid armor just to see. No, it doesn't give me the one hit. Just increases the chance. I would need 2 to get the guarantee. And that doesn't seem feasible. Because if I do 2 and 1 body, like 2 and 1 body slam here, that's 3 turns, and then like I'll have to do 2 hits on the Alakazam. That's a total of 5 turns on just these 2 Pokemon. So 6 with the Abra as well. It's only 5 turns if I just spam body slam. Matt. Oh my gosh. This fight. Then this fight. Okay, acid armor. Does it give us any ranges? Oh, well, it gives us a chance to one-hit the Haunter, which is probably worth it because this thing has Hypnosis, whereas the first one doesn't. I would way rather stay in battle against the first Gengar than the Haunter. Like, the Haunter is awful. Then we get here to Lance, and we like... The Gyarados is the only thing that can mess us up if it crits with Hyper Beam. Really. Like, or it leers and then Hyper Beams. That one shouldn't be that bad. And then Champion. We are now level 59 for this fight. So we're still a higher level than I was last time. Very interesting. That probably means, like, I can cut even more training. Like, I bet I don't need to fight the Hiker in Mount Moon. Like, that probably does nothing for me. Misty, I go into level 16, so not over a damage running threshold, so... yeah, just cut the Hiker. That doesn't help. Cut the Hiker. Then... Route 8. I fought the Super Nerd on Route 8. We can take him out. I can take out this Machop guy. From the hideout. That takes us down to 58 for the champion. It's probably going to be the case that I should use a rare candy at some point here. Maybe after Lorelei. Or after... Before Agatha. Sorry, before Agatha. I gotta be careful with what words I use. I almost walked into a rake there. Yeah, like, what if we rare candy once right before Agatha? Does that, like, fix our level ups? It does. Okay, so, like, check this out. So here, with the rare candy, we level up in the Agatha fight going into the Arbok before the second Gengar. So my speed boosts from acid armor will not apply, and I won't have my boosted special either, which is a disappointment. Then I level up going into the Aerodactyl, and I lose the speed boosts right before his quickest Pokemon. And then I level up going into the Executor and after the final Pokemon. But if I rare candy before Agatha, I level up after her final Pokemon, and then after Lance's final Pokemon, but then into the Cloyster. If we send this back before the previous trainer, does that fix it? Well, yeah, it kind of. It fixes it a little bit. We could always set up on Lance's second Dragonair. That levels up going into the Golbat on Agatha. This one seems the best. First Dragonair. It has Thunder, so we just knock it out with Ice Beam. The second one has Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Hyper Beam, and Wrap. So I can set up Acid Armor there to outspeed the Aerodactyl because it, due to good AI, or due to AI modification 3, Lance's second Dragonair is never going to use Ice Beam or Bubble Beam, which would be the 2 loss condition moves. Bubble Beam's Speed Drop or Ice Beam's Freeze. But instead it's going to spam Hyper Beam, which gives me more turns to set up, plus I'm faster, so I'm going to set up my defense before it hits me with the physical move. And while Wrap does waste time, it's not the end of things. And then we win. So we rare candy after Lorelei. Alright, what am I doing that's like... Is there anything here that I like need? Like, do I need? Oh, I tuned into the best part of the stream. I assume Zorafin, because I know that you've watched my stuff for a while. I assume you're being serious, but I know that my viewership drops off when I do this analysis stuff, so I appreciate everyone who does stick through it. 3 acid armors gives... Wait, 3 acid armors gives a 2-hit on the cloister? A 92% chance to 2-hit the cloister. Did I level up last time before the cloister? I bet I leveled up last time before the cloister. Scott, you didn't optimize Bruno. Who's Bruno? I'm like looking through this list here and I'm not seeing a single trainer named Bruno. You know what I mean? Like, I can even search his name. Watch this. I search his name and like there's no one. Just nothing shows up in this list. It's as if I just searched a random bunch of letters like that. There's nothing here. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I did level up before the cloister. Okay, so like experience optimization then was definitely the problem. Experience optimization was definitely the problem for the league last time. Knowing exactly when I'm going to level up is key. By the way, I've been listening to all these, like, there's this channel, it's called C, like SEA, and then there's another one like called The History of the Universe or something like that. They're like YouTubers who do like science stuff, like about space, which is always fascinating to look at. I've been watching a lot of that stuff just while I'm doing playthroughs and stuff like that. And like thinking about the missions that they have planned to the outer solar system and stuff like that, and like the amount of like precise calculation that is required to do that, like orbit a body, accelerate, and then get to a different like planet in the like in the grand scope of space. Amazing. That really inspires me to get more precise with my routing, because when I'm like, well, I don't know if I can level up on the perfect Pokemon, it's like, yes, I can. They sent things to space and they went to the right places. I am 100% sure that I can optimize my experience and pick exactly the trainers I need to fight. Like, there should be no excuses. What if I fight minimum battles throughout this entire run? Let's just get rid of all this, like, bloat. 7 rare candies before the rival takes me to 41. Okay. Then we get to Erica, and we one-shot everything. Then we get to Koga. We have damage ranges to one-hit all the Venonats. Then we get to Blaine. And things are less good, but still fine. Then we get to Sabrina. We probably don't want a rare candy, but we still one-hit the Abra. Do I outspeed the Abra? Speed ties the Abra at level 46 without rare candies. Maybe we don't want to do that. What about Giovanni? We're going to one-hit everything still at level 48, and I'm underspeeding the Pokemon, the first 2, which I already was, and I'm outspeeding the final 3. I'm really only going to lose if the first 2 mess me up. If he hits Slash and an Earthquake or a Dig, I still survive. This rival. 1 hit with Ice Beam. 2 hit with Surf. Oh, this is after Acid Armor. What about no Acid Armor? No, we're still good. We need like 1. But what about the Magneton? 57%. Well, I can rare candy right before this fight, because I have 3. With rare candies. Now, we have an 82% chance to one-hit the Magneton. That's much better. Then Lorelei. Lorelei with... Well, you're going to need more Acid Armors here. 2 Acid Armors now for the Dugong to 3-hit. That's not bad, though. 2 is fine. Like, I can set up 3. 3 is, like, not that big of a time commitment. What you really don't want to get into is, like... That's a good idea. By the way, Michael, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind for later. Getting back to the run now. So... if I'm setting up like 6 times on the Dugong, and then I have to set up 3 times on the Slowbro and use rest because I don't have enough health, something like that, you lose so much time by doing that. Plus, you give a lot of opportunities for the opponent to crit you or mess you up with status conditions, That said, when you're setting up with acid armor, it doesn't take as many turns. It's not nearly as bad. So I think this is probably the safer approach to Dugong. Or Lorelei, like just 2 acid armors, then go. And if you really want 3, it's going to change maybe. It doesn't really change anything. 2 is all you need. Okay, then we'll take away this rare candy because that's definitely not needed now. Okay, I'm leveling up going into... Okay, well, we should probably rare candy before Agatha in this case because I level up going into the second Gengar. Sometimes what happens is when you cut trainers, you can't optimize the experience because you just have so little. That, yeah, see here? I have so little. Like, I level up after Agatha's final Pokemon, after Lance's final Pokemon, and then into the final Cloyster, which is exactly where I don't want to level up. Like, I do not want to level up going into the Cloyster. So if I remove 1 rare candy here, and then add that rare candy, ooh, level up going into the Magneton, also not where I want to level up. Because now what I can do is I can do 1 more rare candy right before the end to fix the champion. And hopefully it's not just base experience that's causing this. Yeah, now I level up going into the Flareon, which is totally fine. The route is a little bit more complicated doing it this way, which is not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. Also, I realized that my screen is just a little bit too long for all of you, so I'm just going to compress it. Hopefully this will make things better. Next time, yell at me more so I know that I'm messing up. Hopefully that looks better. Yeah, now you can see everything I can see. We'll scroll down. See the champion here? Okay, level up 1 rare candy, level up after Agatha, then level up after Lance, after final Pokemon, then 1 rare candy, level up going into the Flareon. So now I'm fighting... Look at that! Okay, I took out so many trainers, we are still level 58 for the final fight. This is like... I get chills when I optimize like this. It's like when you feel like you just like hit that, like you do some major change to the run and then it still works out the same way in the end. It's like, okay, now I know that I really got it. Like this is when it feels good. The other one that felt really, really, really amazing was when I realized that if you pick up an extra candy with Starmie, you actually get a slower time. And it's like a slower time and a harder battle by getting an extra rare candy. Whereas if you just skip the rare candy, you have a faster time and you also have an easier fight. Those kind of beautiful, like, counterintuitive synergies also get me going. Yeah. Probably should say something about, like, hope my wife doesn't watch this video or something like that. Okay, champion fight. This is pretty good. 80% chance to 2-hit the Cloyster. That's like a really good chance. What about Sabrina? Well, Sabrina is, like, fine. 1-hit the Abra, and then I'm going to 2-hit the Kadabra and 3-hit the Alakazam. It should be fine. Fallen Hero, thanks for the gifted membership. This is like... Okay. Let's think about this. Am I doing any optional battles at the current point? Yes. I'm doing 2 on the SSN, 1 to get rest, 1 to get the rare candy. Then I'm doing another optional battle in Sylph to get 1 more rare candy. And I believe that's it. No, and 1 more in Celadon City to get the rare candy out of the hideout. 4 optional battles. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. 5, 6. 6 more because I fight the 2 really good experience yield people on Cycling Road. But what if I cut those? What if we just don't fight those? Then we go into the rival at level 39. Which is a lot less good. That is a lot less good. Let's add these people back in. Yeah. We're gonna fight those 2 people. Nothing is gonna OHKO the Executor. That Pokemon is the most frustrating thing ever. Let's check it. Like... So what I've noticed with these second and Fallout playthroughs, I'm trying not to call them optimized playthroughs anymore. I think that I was being a little bit optimistic in my verbiage, I don't know, noun use, whatever kind of word it is. I was being a little bit optimistic when I said optimized initially, because it turns out you can just really optimize things a lot more as your knowledge expands. And I'm trying to be more humble and just go like, these are follow-up attempts. I'm trying to make things better. This is the best I can do so far. Probably going to come back later and make sure that it is better. Okay, here's Blizzard's damage range. It has a 23.4% chance, including accuracy, to knock the Executor out in one turn, whereas Ice Beam is a guaranteed 2-hit. But when we compare 2 hits, Blizzard only has an 85.7% chance to 2-hit. So while it is more likely to 1-hit, it also it's less likely to 2-hit. So the consistency is for Ice Beam, the potential speed is for Blizzard. You do have to remember I have to teach Blizzard. Teaching Blizzard takes time, and I don't know if I want to waste the time teaching Blizzard and then have it fail. Like, it feels like there's way more downside with this, whereas Ice Beam is just like solid. Verbiage. Okay. Sweet. No Blizzard. Definitely not Blizzard. We also have to pick it up, which is not the goal. G-Man's 5. Every time I see your username, I remember this guy. I think his name was G-Man X or something like that. We used to play StarCraft 2 together to like do training. And his specific style of play was the thing that like destroyed me. It's just like mass medevac with like, he just like attack every base all at once with like 3 medevacs in each base. Oh gosh, the most frustrating thing ever to deal with. Just like, you have your army in like the middle of your base, like observers all around everything. You see like the pincer attack come from like 3 directions, and you're like, ah! Like, if I split, one of his armies will kill my entire army, or like half of my army, and he'll just run away on the other side. If I go and like try and clean him up in one location, he's gonna kill a base. Oh gosh, one of the most frustrating things to deal with. Anyways, a little bit off task. Let's get back to Vaporeon. I think I'm ready to do this other run. We have the standard kind of optional battles for extra items, and then we also have the bikers, the Wheezing duo on Cycling Road. Other than that, really straightforward. 7 rare candies before the rival in Sylph, then take on Erica, then Koga, then Blaine, then Sabrina. After that, Giovanni. 2 rare candies so that I don't level up mid-battle against the rival on Route 22. I'll be like level 51 by that point. Then we go into the league, teach Mimic, fight everyone. 1 rare candy before Agatha, which is very key, and then 1 more rare candy before the champion, as well as teaching Rust. I hope you all memorize that, because I have to. Let's do it now. Okay, I just gotta get like my software all back into the correct places so I can read damage ranges and things like that. We'll do a new route. We'll record this one as well, just in case we figure out we need some other changes. You can go back and optimize more. I am very optimistic at the current time about Vaporeon's finished result here. I think it is going to be just fantastic. So, this is Vaporeon number 4 technically for me, and number 2 of the day. I am shooting for a time under 45 minutes. If we get any time under 45 minutes and 5 seconds, it still will be a personal best. I'm hoping that this run is going to be the personal best, but, you know, like, Surge could crit me with Thunderbolt like 8 times in a row, and that would be... yeah, that would be just like the most deflating thing ever. Let's do this. Day 9's Immortal impression. Oh, yeah, so good. All right. Dwan, you got your new mic? Which mic did you get? Oh, I talked to Oak. Don't talk to Oak. It's a waste of time. I don't know if anyone can tell, but I have actually started using a new mic this year. So last year I was using the Shure SM7B, which is like the mic on every podcast. Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, everyone. You're basically not a podcaster until you have that mic. But I've switched to something else because my voice is like quite deep and relaxing. And sometimes when I'm mixing, I notice that it can sound a little bit flat. So I'm trying out the RE20 right now, Electro Voice RE20, just to see if it can give me a little bit more presence in the upper end of my frequencies. And so far I'm really liking it. It's slightly more sensitive to noise in the room, which is annoying when you have cats like Churro who just scream all the time. Yeah, there's more bass in my voice now, that's for sure, because I have on the SM7B, I was always using the bass attenuation feature. But now this is a flat signal response for my voice. So this is just like what the microphone is picking up without doing any filtering. Whereas before it was slightly filtered. So yeah, it does sound like more bassy, I think. I also noticed that I get less mouth sounds with this microphone, and mouth sounds were like the #1 thing that made me frustrated with my audio quality. It's just like sometimes there's clicking and like all the like saliva sounds. Those are awful. They're just the worst. I wanted to get rid of them, but I just couldn't with the SM7B. And this one seems a little bit better because it also doesn't need as much gain, so I can put it a little bit further away from myself, which really clears things up. And yeah, I did not want to heal going into Brock. I also never used... Oh, I used Sand Attack on Misty. I should have probably kept that. I'll try Misty with Tail Whip this time. If we fail, I'll just go back to the beginning and try again. You don't tend to notice churro noises? Yeah, in the regular videos, because I'll do the same line like 30 times when he's being annoying. He's just like walking around being like, meow, meow. It's like every time I say like a specific word, he makes a noise. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this line like 30 times. And eventually he just won't talk. And when he doesn't talk, then it'll be fine. You might say, why not just put him outside of the room? Then he won't make noise. No. Then he'll scratch at the door and meow even louder. And the microphone will still pick it up. And then if I decide that it's like, I'm like, it's fine. Like this take is okay. Even though there's a little bit of churro noise, my video editor will send it back to me and say cat noise. So it can't cut those corners. Rename the channel Scott's Mouth Sounds. That sounds like an ASMR channel. It's like, I'm just gonna make really quiet sounds for all of you now. It's gonna be extremely relaxing. Get ready to fall asleep. I hope you are enjoying this Vaporeon solo run. I definitely am. Oh. Kind of the worst time to run out, but it's fine. Sam Harris, thanks for the $10. Really appreciate it. It does help me continue to make videos. Can I beat Pokemon Yellow? With just cat noises. See, people said you shouldn't make an ASMR channel because your channel already is an ASMR channel. And I was like, yeah, but like, I could actually try to be ASMR. And maybe that would make things worse. The damage ranges here are a lot less good when you don't fight the hiker, which is fine. It's fine. I'm gonna have to heal, which I didn't have to do before. Oh well. That's a good example. Like there I was 3-hitting instead of 2-hitting, whereas before I fought the hiker, and it's like while yes, I did do less battles, it's not necessarily faster because that fight was slower. So sometimes you slow down because you do more battles. I don't need to heal this, so I'll look away if you're sensitive to visual flashes because there's going to be some poison flashing. If you're 29 hit points or lower, you should heal. Because it depletes 1 hit point every time you get hit by the poison. Yeah, I'm going to teach Bide in the place to tackle. You don't want to use Bide against her, this one, because she has the Goldeen, and the Goldeen is supersonic, and if you hit yourself in confusion, you cancels your Bide. Which is, then you just take damage for free. Don't do that. Okay, hopefully Misty is fine. Shouldn't have saved, actually, but... Okay. This is good. I'm going to try and bide it, the Starmie, because I would like to knock it out quickly. No! I hate you, Starmie! Don't do that. That's better. There we go. I'm in a bad position. Alright. We learned a thing. I gotta fix that. Okay, here we go. Third attempt today. Definitely having Sand Attack is better in that fight. There's no reason not to, I don't think. I think Sand Attack, Tail Whip, Quick Attack, Water Gun is the best. It's at the point where I don't want more Pokemon, I want more Scott. Aww. Is that the real back spray for Vaporeon? It is the real back spray for... I talked to Oak again. It is the real back spray for Vaporeon. It's generally not a good one. Oh, my routing software is not correct. When you save, the routing software also saves, so that's why. Oh, I pressed the button too fast last time. That's why it reset my game and not just the clock. Behind the scenes, this is how it always feels whenever I record a run. It's like, how many restarts will there be before all the technology is set up correctly? It's good now, though. We're good. Oh, this isn't the time to do that, yeah. Should just change all of the unnecessary dialogue in the game to Oak saying that. And if you need less or more characters, you just remove some characters from that statement or add some to it. Okay, I'm gonna not mess up the nickname this time. You just start pressing B right away so that you get through this dialogue with the rival as fast as possible. Let's go. Ta-da! Isn't acid armor isn't the name Melt in Japan or Japanese? It's Melt, right? Which is like a really awesome way of improving your defenses. Like, I will just turn into water. When optimizing, if it's early on, restart is always the answer. When doing a first playthrough, only if there is a major technical meltdown, like my Pokemon has none of the right stats or natures or anything like that, then I'll restart. But only in those cases. Like I did, and then some cases, if I'm so far into the run, I will not restart. But like I had one run with Kyle, where like the Kyle the Mightyena. Unfortunately, my software, like the game corrupted and everything just went wrong, and I was like just before the 7th gym, and like there was nothing I could do. Okay. Water gun that one because it's such a high level. Liquefy per Volvipedia. Okay, cool. Yeah, it makes sense. Why does Vaporeon get to liquefy? I don't know. It's a water type? I guess that makes sense. It makes more sense with muck. Like liquefy, I can see a muck doing that. It's like, oh, it like got like really like jelly-like and just like spread out everywhere. And you're like, wow, how do I attack this thing? Gen 4 babies, maybe in like a year or so. I gotta take some time off from baby Pokemon after last year. Last year was a lot of babies. Yeah, Michael, I don't also think that's a hot take. Like, the idea that Pokemon has gone downhill, it's not necessarily... Like, I think objectively it's not true that it's gone downhill, but I think that what has happened is, like, there's, like, an expectation of, like, improving things as time goes on. This is what I was talking about earlier with, like, changing rules in the videos and stuff like that. Like, as time progresses, we expect things to get better. That just keeps that thing at baseline. Like, the baseline is we assume some degree of progress all the time. And what it feels like with Nintendo is that they're behind that curve. Like, the progress that we expect is not lining up with the progress that they are delivering. They're delivering less progress than we expect. Which is like, that's fine. Like, Gen 1 missed there, by the way. I think hopefully they're getting the idea that, like, that's what's happening and that they need to kind of step things up. I would hope that that's the case. But you never know. Like, I'm trying to get back to, on this channel specifically, reading as many comments as possible. So, like, yesterday and this morning, I really took the intentional time to read every comment that had come in on the new videos. And that was just like, I really want to get back to that, because having insight into all of your thoughts on each video helps me improve as both a player and a content creator. And a person, because I get to, like, get better at dealing with criticism, and I think that dealing with criticism is just one of the best skills. Definitely need that. But yeah, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem like Nintendo is really listening to the fan base with Pokemon games. I think that they're a little bit hyper fixated on the fact that their games are for kids. And so they're just like, well, like, we need to make sure that this game is really good for kids. Like, at the cost of everything else, we're going to make this game good for kids. And I think that there's a way to do, this game is for kids and anyone can enjoy it. Because when I was growing up, there was a lot of kids' movies that I would watch where my parents would laugh at a joke and I would have no idea what's going on. But I would just laugh along with them because you're a kid and you're like, oh, I'm included. I'm, like, mimicking my parents' behavior. Yeah. Anyways, that to me seems like good design for products designed for kids. It's like, make it something that the parents can enjoy as well, because then it becomes a family experience together, which is just fantastic. With Pokemon, I think that they could lean into that a little bit more. Like give the people who have been playing the game for a really long time the mechanical and quality of life upgrades that are required, and then provide options for players who are new so that they can figure the game out without too many, like, hurdles. Because, like, you don't want a game to be just impossible to play. Unless you're Dark Souls. Unless that's the point of the game, right? Then make a game that's completely about being as challenging as possible, and it's just fine to be okay. Like, you're just fine to go with that. It's like that's the price of entry. You're like, I know that this game is going to be brutal. I'm ready. Okay, Misty. By the way, 2 people sent me sand attack graphs. Thank you if you sent me a sand attack graph. I really appreciate you. It was basically like showing me the optimal number of sand attacks, and accuracy lowering moves really drop off in their effectiveness after about, really after 2, but then even more so after 3. So in this case, setting up 3 is probably going to be the best, or 2 is going to be the best, and yeah, be Misty first attempt this time. So sand attack is definitely the right choice here. Again, it's slower. Like, if you go for Bide, like, Bide is definitely going to be the quicker choice there, but I don't think we need, like, that's splitting hairs. And then we have to get really lucky. I'm speed tied with this. Yeah, I won the speed tie the second time. The Rattata can hit me with quick attack, but it doesn't. Okay. Wow, the rival did not do well there. That was very bad. Okay, here's something that, like, Game Freak is being stubborn on. When they have dialogue, they're like, it's almost like it's a content creator, and the content creator is really full of themselves, and they're like, my story is amazing. You have to experience it. Like, I'm gonna make you experience it. Why not just give us a skip dialogue button? Like, this has been happening since I was a kid in games where you could literally just like press A or something and the cutscene would not play and you'd be able to continue playing the game. But it seems to think that, like, it seems to me that they feel like the dialogue in the game is either so important that everyone needs to pay attention to it, because if you don't have that information, you're going to get lost, or they think, like, I don't know, like what? Like, is this really the most important thing? Like, or it's like that's a part of the gameplay. Like, it is a part of the fundamental structuring and design of the game to watch all of this dialogue. Like, no, it's not. I don't know how to tell that to you, Game Freak. It's not. The dialogue is not why I play Pokemon. As you can see from all of my videos, where I laboriously narrate every single spoken line by all of the NPCs, because that's the most important thing. I don't know, I just think giving people, like, I talked about this a lot about, like, game design earlier on in the year, or last year, I guess. Whenever we can give players choices, I think it's like, I think that just makes things more interesting. Like, yeah, like, I'm fine with it being unlocked after a second playthrough, but I still think you should be able to do it in first playthroughs, like, because, like, it's fine if, like, you don't want to ever skip dialogue, then you can make that choice, but, like, I don't know why it would be, like, it doesn't seem okay to me to, like, force someone else to play the game that, like, the game in the way that you think the game should be played. Like, if I think that I should turn off encounters, then, like, I should be able to do that, and if someone else thinks that they shouldn't be able to do that, then they can play the game without that modification. That seems like the best approach to me. Let everyone engage in the way that seems fit. So if the developer can design something that allows players to engage with their game in a slightly different way, it seems like we make the experience just better and richer for everyone overall. Like, yeah, like a difficulty option would be great too. And, like, someone's gonna say, well, then they're gonna have to code in all this other data and it's gonna take them forever. Believe me, Smith Plays Pokemon can make a ROM hack of the game and change, like, pretty much all the data, and he can do it in, like, what, a year? I'm sure a multi-million-dollar company can spend the time it takes to add another difficulty mode. Also, yeah, like, too many options and stuff could overwhelm new players. Totally. Yeah, completely agree with that. There's also, like, something to be said for the fact that, like, creatively within a work, there's a point at which complexity reaches a maximum, and then you have to, like, start removing stuff so that the work is not as complex. And I think that, like, we've seen that there's been a little bit of that trend with Game Freak where they're like, wow, we have a lot of Pokemon now. Maybe we shouldn't put all of them in every game. So, funnily enough, I'm not actually in the camp of, like, Dexit is bad. Like, I think it makes sense why they did it, and, like, that's fine. it would be, I would love it if every Pokemon could be in every game. I think that that would be my ideal state, but I also like see why it's probably a necessity. Yeah, it's 100% not a coding issue. I think that that's like, it's kind of like a straw man that gets thrown at things like, hey, look over here. Like, I don't know if that's the right term, but like, it's just like an argument that you throw out there to be like, hey, look over here. Like, actually, it takes a lot of time to code all this stuff. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, yes, it does. It takes more effort and more time, but like, not so significantly that like that is a reason not to do it. Like, I think Game Freak is just thinking, people are going to play these games once. It's okay if they just go through all the dialogue. We should probably make them go through the dialogue because we want them to have a good experience with the story. And then when they're done playing the game, they'll stop playing it, and that's okay. Like, the hardcore fans will stay around and continue playing, and they will enjoy the game how they enjoy the game. Like, kind of regardless of what we do. Plus, like, it's fair to mention, like, these companies they're companies, they're trying to make money. Their number one goal is to make money from you. And let's see how Surge goes. I assume, is it going to be bad? Okay, X speed turn 1, that's pretty good. Mega Kick misses. Alright, Mega Kick hits, but we're okay. Thunderbolt. Ah, again! Another reset to Surge. Stop. Stop. Okay, well, oh my gosh, 2 resets Surge. Huh. That's disappointing. 1 reset is fine, 2 is disappointing, 3 is like unacceptable on Surge, in my opinion. Like, I would restart if it was 3. I was kind of hoping he was going to beat me so I could restart, because now I'm like, just like, I don't know, like, should I keep going? Like, we'll try it, we'll see what happens. Okay, we're good. Administrative bloat when you start adding a bunch of people. I've experienced that with my channel. It's like, the more and more people you get just working on stuff, it's like, it doesn't necessarily make things go faster. You just like, then like for me, it's like I become like, my core job is manager, and I'm not good at being a manager. I'm good at being like, playing Pokemon, thinking about the game, trying to create stuff. So, like, how do I keep myself in that role while still scale? That's a tricky question to have the answer for. So, like, I'm sure that, like, a large company is also struggling with that issue, but on a larger level. Like, they'll be dealing with that, like, 10 times over of, like, okay, we have, like, 200 people, but, like, we want to make this game faster. Should we just, like, double our staff? Like, will that actually be the thing that makes the game better at the end of the day? I don't know. It's a tricky question. It's just not as cut and dry as people think it is, I think. Hopefully you can tell that I like to like examine all perspectives of things. I like to think through things and not necessarily come to hard and fast conclusions. I think that often in our society especially, we're really quick to judge and to like label something and to jump to an extreme of like, this is definitely what's happening. My opinion is right. I'm very sure of it. I'm like, I think that a little bit of like flexibility. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be very flexible. Bubble Beam is better than Quick Attack. I checked it. And I don't have any body slams. So we gotta knock the auto shot with Bubble Beam. It's fine. I'll burn my Paralyze Heal after this. Also, this Sand Attack is very annoying, but fine. Okay. Now we could get Swift, but I think that with Vaporeon it doesn't make sense. I already missed Daily December. Oh well, I'm glad that that you miss it, because then that means it was good. I would like to do it again next year, and that's the current plan. So hopefully Daily December will be something that I do every year. It was way easier this year. I think that in 2024 it's going to be even easier. And that'll allow even more cool things to happen throughout the year and maybe in December. I don't think I need this. I'm gonna skip. It's like at this point we're like trying to cut time, so like probably get this PP up, but I'll skip a bunch of the items here. Because like they weren't really required, and I think like having like a two less special is like, it's gonna change the damage ranges about like 5%. But we're gonna save like 30 seconds. Which is a 1 reset. So like if we have 1 reset because of bad luck due to lower damage ranges, then we'll essentially, like it'll be a neutral exchange. And we stack risk reward in our favor, because then there's the chance that things go really well for us and we save a total of 20 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever it is. Last time the speed was potentially a problem, so we'll just go with Carbos this time. As I say speed is a problem, I delete the priority move. Irony. No. Okay. So this is all really easy. Vaporeon is great. This, it feels like a decent Pokemon to do as a first playthrough if you want to get into doing solo runs in Gen 1. I think Vaporeon would be a decent place to start. It's not going to be as good at, like, a Mewtwo is obviously just, yeah, play Mewtwo, it's great. Hypno, also great, play Hypno. These are good Pokemon. I think if you really want a Pokemon that is going to wow you, and you're not afraid of using Sleep Powder, then you should go with Victory Bell, because that's definitely... Victory Bell is just busted. But Vaporeon, for a water type, it's really good. Like, Starmie is much more complex. I would not recommend playing Starmie as your first water type. Oh my gosh, the Dexit discussion. It's raging in the chat. Okay, so Pokemon Tower is done. We are going to go to Cycling Road now. We're going to fight the 2 optional trainers there. I'll heal here because I have less than full PP and I am damaged. Sometimes you want to skip this heal when you come back the second time. Okay. So not that guy, but this guy. This guy is the best experience yield on the entire route. He is fantastic to get experience from. And then we're going to do the other guy, the other end of this route, this guy. Does YouTube allow simultaneous? I don't actually know about TikTok. I know almost nothing about that platform. My wife loves it. Personally, for me, I don't know why, but like my brain, like a lot of really fast things that are not coherent to each other, deeply like it's just not relaxing for me. I don't find myself like scrolling and feeling relaxed. Like what I want to feel relaxed is like something that I can deeply engage with for a long period of time. Like I really like sinking into things. So when I see like a podcast episode or something like that, or one of my favorite creators has made a video and it's like 3 hours long, I'm like, yes, this is the perfect thing. I can't wait. Let me like order a pizza and watch this video. I'm sure you can see that that kind of style of doing things comes out in my own stuff. I sleep to your videos. Wife is tired of Pokemon. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll delete Water Gun this time to play it just a tiny bit better. And again, like I don't think that like short video sites are necessarily awful in their like own right. Like I think if someone wants to enjoy short content and that's like the thing that works well for their brain, that's great. Like it's so good that we have these things for different types of people. For me though, it's like I prefer this experience and going deeply into something. That just, I don't know what it is about it, but it like the ability to just sink into something for like 16 hours is like one of the like most enjoyable things. Maybe the most enjoyable thing, honestly. I really like. Also, this experience worked out really well. You see that? I'm like, I just leveled up to 34, and that's when I'm going to use my candies. So, cool. Okay, candies. We don't need a Roar Beam. Didn't use it last time. I have a tiny bit of health, but I'm going to save the potions. Okay, let's go. Okay, Sand Slash. 2 hit the... Oh, I thought I was going to 3 hit the Cloister. Supersonic didn't do anything. Hopefully Magneton is not a problem. Okay, I got confused there. No paralysis, though. We should be good. Yep. I'm 1 speed slower than the Kadabra. Just realized that. I have a lot of special, though. I think I'm fine. That fight doesn't feel like it's on the degree of... Or it has the degree of instability that a lot of bad fights have. Or that fight can have for other Pokemon. Sometimes you get there and it just feels almost impossible. Whereas Vaporeon feels like it's not great, but it has a decent path to victory at that moment. Okay. Giovanni is defeated. Now we are going to go and face Erica. After a heal. Oh hey, I have Celadon heal. That's nice. I thought I was going to go to Saffron City and then have to fly, but conveniently No! Oh, didn't want to fly. Oh, I got a lot of adrenaline. Okay. I caught that one at like the last frame. Loving your streams, by the way. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know. It's always helpful, by the way, everyone who's here now, all 467 of you. By the way, can we get 2 more people? Can we just do that, please? Everyone who's here right now, please let me know when you like stuff that I do, because that really lets me know what I should be leaning into and doing more of. Horsey is very cute, yes. Okay, 28 minutes in Koga's gym. So far, so good. This is... Oh, by the way, Surf does more damage. You should just be using Surf until the Kadabra, then Body Slam does more damage, and Surf does more damage to the Drowsy. Okay. Skip these 2 optional trainers. Feels weird as of late, skipping that guy, because... Aww. Deleted comments on the Roselia because I felt a little harsh. If it's about my play, like, I understand. I don't think I played very well in the Roselia video. Like the Fallout playthrough. Oh, I also like missed the ability. I should have used a Modest Nature for the second run. There's like a lot of stuff that could... That's very unfortunate. Okay, I paralyzed it. We're fine. But the speed drop there on from the special drop from the Venomoth is kind of bad. Because then you can't do much damage with Surf. It's not going to 2-hit. It's also going to do more damage if it attacks with Surf. It's going to be awesome when we get all the rankings with the original 151. It's going to be like, what a cool day that will be, just looking at the tier list and being like, I've played the game with every single Pokemon. I highly recommend it, by the way. For anyone who's like wanting to get into solo running, like it's so much fun. But don't play, or my advice would be, don't let your self play without a real-time timer. And force yourself to play where you collect these 4 metrics. At the very minimum, collect game time and real time. Because there is this, like, I find it at least very fun, the tension between the two. The things you have to do to optimize for game time are not the things you have to do to optimize for real time. And then there's like this like perfect balancing moment in between the two where like things just work. And you're just like, you're like walking on the knife's edge. It's great. I think that I would have not been enjoying this channel nearly as much if I was not timing myself. Because then it becomes less interesting for every playthrough. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to get through the game. Like, I know I can get through the game with every Pokemon. Or pretty much every Pokemon, especially if I go to level 100 and get Double Team. But when they're like competing with each other and there's this sense of like, we don't know which one is going to be better, we don't know where this one's going to rank, like how well can I do with it, then things start getting extremely interesting. Oh, gosh, this is like the worst Ninetales. I got my defense lowered twice, which is really bad because Rapidash and Arcanine have really good physical attack. Like, this is gonna devastate me. Oh, well, we did it because of the Super Potion. Can't believe that. Oh, I'm glad you've been enjoying the Fire Red videos. That's good. Maybe more of an acquired taste for some people in my audience because a lot of you are from Generation 1 and Generation 2. So I would understand if you look at the Generation 3 videos and you're a little bit less excited. That's how I felt before I started playing the Generation 3 games. I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do it. Like, I wasn't super excited to get into Emerald, but I was like, I probably should, like, for like the long-term health of the channel. It makes sense to do it. Yeah, I paralyzed. Okay, so see, if you paralyze, then you just get 2 hits in a row, and it's great. And you can crit like that. Twice in a row on the Alakazam. Perfect. I'm really excited for more Fire Red videos as well. I'm really excited for more Emerald and Platinum videos. I've been enjoying Platinum a lot more than I thought I would. Going into that, I was very worried. I thought the game was just going to be really slow and like very hard. But the game is a lot more interesting than I was expecting. And I think that it plays the most differently of all of the games that I solo run. In Platinum, when you run into a trainer that is difficult, it feels like an electric type going up against Giovanni in Gen 1. It's like they just wall you so hard. Whereas even in Gen 3 like Emerald, you can generally, with a Pokemon that's not optimal against a certain trainer, oh, that was really unfortunate, but okay. It could have done anything else, but it didn't. Yeah, in Platinum, when you get walled, it's so hard. I actually think it keeps things very interesting, and it's making me approach the games in a different way. Oh. Wow, this is not good. See, these are fast resets, so they're like, you want to have this kind of reset if you're choosing to reset. Now, I could set up Acid Armor to boost myself here, but like I don't know if I really want to. Maybe one Acid Armor on the initial Doug Trio so that I have the outspeed on the Persian is probably best, but the Persian could also just like Fury Swipes twice or Screech twice and then you just win. So, or Slash once and then Screech or something, or like Screech Slash, which is the best combo because it does nothing. Yeah, I expected Platinum to be frustrating because of the speed, but the speed is actually nice. It's like, if I had a really stressful week, I think playing Platinum and just doing a run in Platinum is going to be great. And I haven't played the next run for Platinum yet, but I expect that to be an experience because the last 2 weeks have been extremely stressful. Like, I haven't been sleeping and stuff because it's been so bad. I forgot to use the candies here. Forgot to use the candies. It's very bad. You know, Vaporeon has so much special that it doesn't actually matter, I think. Maybe it does matter. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a little bit of a problem now, though, because I don't know where my experience optimizes. That's why you teach him Surf as well. I don't do well on vacation. I appreciate the sentiment, but the thing I value most, I think, is the ability to be obsessively creative. It fuels me. And I do know that it comes with extreme stress at times, like it just did, but I wouldn't trade that for, like, I wouldn't trade the stress and take all the stress away. It's worth it. I have this analogy that I say to a lot of people when I talk about my work, which is like, it feels like I'm climbing a mountain, and then like by the time I get to the top of the mountain, I'm like ready for a rest, and I'm ready to like savor in the achievement of getting to the top of the mountain. And it's like been a lot of effort, and I'm like sweaty and tired and hungry. And then as soon as I get to the top of the mountain, I see the mountain behind the mountain that I'm currently climbing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta climb that too. And then I just get so excited that I go back down into the valley and go up the other one. Because it's just like, and you often, like for me at least, it always feels like the next step is clouded in the fog of war until I get to the top of the mountain. Like, until I overcome the current challenge that I'm having, I can't see what the next challenge is. And it always feels like as soon as I overcome this challenge, I'm done. I've finished. I'm complete. I know that I know everything that I need to know. I don't need to change anything now. Or I don't need to add anything to the overlay. And then as soon as I get to the peak, then all that changes. Okay, here we go. Hopefully takedown. Yes, takedown. Perfect first turn. Oh, I probably need more of these. Yeah. Well. Thanks, Lorelei. Level up into the cloister. Oh, a little unfortunate. Not the worst. Okay, Supersonic's annoying. Okay. Oh, Psychic right away. Frustrating. It did it again. I'm gonna go for 3 this time so that I 3-hit with Surf. Even though I lose them going into the cloister. Clearing the fog of war is easy, just use defog. Yeah, good idea. Hey, no, Supersonic, so I'll be fine. This is gonna be a good test run of the strat, because like we've found like a bunch of other small flaws in it. I like that about this. It's sometimes great when you play the game and you're not successful, because then you learn small flaws. Like a flaw in my play was not getting one small flaw in my play was not using the candies before the rival fight, but also like the Giovanni speed stuff and the moves in that fight. So I'm gonna level up after this, and then I'm gonna burn all the candies but one. And that'll hopefully... That's why I went into that battle at a lower level. I didn't explain that. I went into the battle at a lower level against Lorelei because I want to use the candies now so that I'm back on track with my experience routing. Whereas if I use the candies early, I think it would be 1 level lower for the champion, and I don't want to do that. One level lower for the champion is like gonna ruin some damage ranges. I want to be exactly 58. I like how Substitute does not block Mimic. Imagine if Substitute blocked Mimic. Then that stealing this from Gengar would be a lot less consistent. Even with 5 resets and like what is genuinely not a good playthrough, I think that Vaporeon is going to clock in with a PB. Right now we're on pace, so I survived the Gengar's Psychic. And look at that, see? Leveled up after the final Pokemon, level 57. So we should level up after Lance's final Pokemon here. And then be 58 for the champion. Okay, hopefully the Gyarados doesn't mess us up. Oh, wait, did I mess this up? I think I messed this up. I was supposed to... Wait. I don't know, I'll have to check after. Let's see what happens with the Cloister. I think I might level up going into the Cloister now. My brain's fuzzy on that. Okay, 58. Okay, maybe I'm 1 level too high. Granted, this was like minimum battles, so like, what can I do? I don't know. Just distribute the rare candies more so that I'm a lower level, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, well, I should have rest, but... Well, let's try playing without rest. Maybe it'll be fine. Like, that doesn't do very much damage. You just don't want this thing to crit right as it crits. Mimic, Earthquake. You can Mimic in this case, which is like mimicking an Earthquake, and then that'll hopefully give me a one-shot on the Magneton. And also on the Alakazam. Oh. Vaporeon does not have particularly good physical attack, as we just found out. It's going to be a 2-hit. Oh! Missed the Leech Seed? That's very, very convenient. 1 hit the Magneton. Didn't level up into the Cloister. No Leech Seed, so I'm going to 2-hit. And then we'll one hit. Yeah, look at this time. This time's great. Oh! The Flareon survived. Okay, there we go. 42 minutes and 36 seconds with 5 resets at level 60. What a sloppy run, but still a fantastic time. Huh. Oh, and the game time is so much better. 2 hours and 42 minutes. When compared with my old run from a year ago, the optimized one, it got 2 hours and 57 minutes. So this is a significant win on that metric. Significant loss on the resets metric. I was much less consistent this time. Sub 35 possible? No, I don't think so. Like reducing time ends up being like it feels like a logarithmic curve. It's like it goes parabolic. It's basically like the amount of effort that is required to shave off like 15 seconds when you're at like 40 minutes is like way more than it takes to shave off like a minute when you're at 45 minutes. It just gets like it gets progressively harder and harder and harder to save time as you get closer and closer to like the lowest possible theoretical time. Yeah, optimization has diminishing returns for effort. Exactly. Yeah. I think like within like my rule set playing on 4 times speed, I don't think sub 35 is going to be possible. Not with Vaporeon. It doesn't have a good enough growth rate and it doesn't have enough power. With Mewtwo, I think yes, but with Vaporeon, I don't think so. Like right now, I don't have a single time that is a 35-minute time. My fastest time is Victory Bell. It's like 36:27 or something like that. But yeah, I think sub 40 is not going to be hard with this thing. Cool. Will anyone ever dethrone King Victory Bell? Maybe? Like, maybe Mewtwo will, I think. You know, if Mewtwo didn't, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I can see that there would be an argument for the fact that Mewtwo vs. Victory Bell might be the best final possible video. What was this? Number 4? This is number 4. Completed. Okay, let's look at the tier list right now. Oh no, that's not the tier list. This is the tier list. Ta-da! Okay, right now, the time. 42 minutes and 36 seconds. Obviously gets us into the S tier, which is great. That said, what does it do for us in the S tier? Slightly faster than Nidoqueen. Slightly slower than Vileplume. That makes sense to me. Vileplume's medium slow growth rate. So is Nidoqueen. So is Haunter. So is Nidoking. And Starmie just has more type coverage than Vaporeon. I think that gives it an edge. Plus it has more speed. Yeah, Zapdos is so good. Zapdos is so good. Ridiculous how good that thing is. But like, it's not that amazing. Like, Victory Bell, 36 minutes and 27 seconds. Zapdos, 37 minutes and 22 seconds. So the legendary Pokemon was not even able to get to Victory Bell tier. And Victory Bell has I've done 8 attempts. And Zapdos I've done 11. So I had to do more with Zapdos to get a time that's a minute slower. Plus, I played the Zapdos attempts significantly later into my time speedrunning. So, Victory Bell, with less experience and less attempts, was able to get a significantly better time when compared with Zapdos and Articuno. I think it just shows how good it is. And then Hypno would be amazing, but Hypno can be much faster. Austin has proved it, but Hypno is held back by the inconsistency of Hypnosis. If Hypnosis had like 80% accuracy, Hypno would be the best Pokemon, or one of the best Pokemon. It would be so good. Same with Gengar. Hypno and Gengar would both get a major boost from that. Okay, the last round with Vaporeon was not good enough. We're going to do one more. Let's go. I want my damage range, just a second. Oh, Moltres. Moltres is there. Just, you gotta look several tiers down. We'll just bring that back up and quickly show that. So for Moltres, we gotta look in the A tier after Hitmonlee, next to Poliwrath. Significantly behind Vaporeon that I am currently playing. Yeah, Moltres is... yeah, it's a very bad, fully evolved legendary Pokemon. It's not like Executor or Scyther bad. Pidgeot bad. Potentially Jolteon bad. By the way, next week, Jolteon. Thursday next week, same time as this stream, Jolteon. Then, Flareon. We're doing all three of them. But we're still not done, Vaporeon. Let's go. I'm going to try and talk less this time. One, to save my voice a little bit, but also to focus on the run so that we can get a good result. If you've made it this far, you're probably not going to click off if I don't talk that much. After all, we're like 2 hours into this. Don't mess this up. Yes, did it. Ah! Gen 1 miss! Start everything off with a Gen 1 miss. Perfect. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There is a 1.3% chance that I two-hit the Eevee. I probably have to crit on both my attacks. Scott plays Pokemon. I should probably change the title. Scott plays Pokemon and is way too data-oriented and makes very long videos about Pokemon solo runs exclusively. Sometimes a Nuzlocke here and there when he's feeling like a change of pace and a lot of stress. And that track is going to be on the new Fall Out Boy album. Hey, same encounter as last time. Cool. I'm officially doing this now. It's like I waste so much time trying to sneak by on the optimal number of steps in the forest, and it's like I really just shouldn't do that. Even if encounters are on, I shouldn't do that. It's going to take longer. Oh, escape camper. Yeah, thank you for posting that everywhere. It's going to become a meme now. Yeah, trust his results. That's right. Blink 5. That's good. Sand attack, yes. Definitely learn sand attack. Don't want to mess that up. Yeah, Corphish is like the Gen 3 Krabby. But with a cooler typing. But no dark moves. And dark moves are special anyways. And it has tons of attack. And it's a water type. Thanks, Game Freak. You did Crawdaunt dirty. But it didn't hold it back because it was still fantastic when I used it. It's very surprising, actually. I was expecting not good things from it. I was like water types generally don't do that well, and like the amount of water that there is in Hoenn is going to hold them back because they don't get good coverage against water types. Water types are not very good against themselves. Believe me, I played Whale Lord yesterday. Twice. And guess what I'm doing after this stream? Another water type. Relicanth. Also, I'm really proud of my Whale Lord name. You'll have to wait until the video to see it, but I'm so proud of it. Okay, here we go. Oh, Lantern, yeah. Lantern might be good in Gen 3, you're right. Could you not please do that? Please stop. If only I could pick up the Water Gun TM and teach it again so that I don't have to use Quick Attack. Wait. Oh, it's taking forever. Sometimes it's right away. It just immediately goes away. The disable's like, oh, thanks. You did nothing. You wasted your turn. Other times, actually, if they outspeed you and disable the move you're about to use, you don't actually attack. Very, very frustrating. See, change channel name to Scott's Overlay. That actually is probably a more accurate depiction of where actually the majority of my time goes, or it has over the last year. Like, the last year was probably 65% programming, 35% playing the game, talking about the game. I do want to change that this year. I want to talk about the game more and play the game more, especially Gen 3. I want to get a lot better at Hoenn. The remakes have not been that hard to pick up because there's so much that's similar between the two. So they're not, like, you don't have to learn overworld pathing or where, like, some items are, that kind of thing. What am I doing? I'm doing something bad here. Talking and going to get this, and I don't need to get this. I need to face Misty. Nice. Sand attack. I think just one sand attack here, and then tail whip, and then a quick attack. Because it takes like a lot of quick attacks to knock this thing out. Can I not hit myself, please? Thank you. Oh. Good. No save. Don't want to waste 5 seconds. Let's go. No X defend. Okay, well, then she uses X defend. Don't say it. Don't say it. She won't hear you. It's fine. Okay. Attack. Attack. Water gun. Yeah, crit. Let's do more of that. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Stop hitting me. Stop with that. No more crit tackles, please. Stop. You're gonna get me. Ah! I was defeated. Yeah, both Whale Lord and Relicanth are required in your party to access the Reggies. Whale Lord needs to be the first slot, and Relicanth needs to be the 6th slot. Yeah, I won't have the Gen 1 miss here, right? That's good. Wasting 5 seconds don't sound too bad now. No, it's fine. If I had reset, I would have restarted anyways. Like, that's the thing. Like, because Misty is so early on, I'm just gonna restart if I lose to her. It tarnishes the run too much to have a reset that early in. It's only like 7 minutes of game time, of playtime. So just like restart, and then, so like if the goal is restart, if you lose, then don't save, because the save just wastes time. It's just wasted. Save if you want to reset. Heal if you don't want, you want the best chance in the fight that's possible, but you don't want to reset. You'll just restart. And then do both if you want to have the best possible chance, but you're willing to accept a reset. Like Surge is a heal save. Misty is... What am I doing? Sorry, talking too much. Oops. Is the rival tougher than Misty for Vaporeon? I don't think so. Not in Cerulean City. But I want Bubble Beam. I want Bubble Beam right away. Like, I can get Bubble Beam right away because Misty's not that bad. And defeating the rival is not going to give me something that's going to help against Misty. So I should just fight her right away. I'm not going to get over a damage rounding threshold without fighting a ridiculous number of trainers. Because I'm level 15, so I need 3 levels. And I could do 2 rare candies, but then that'll mess up my finish time. I was hoping this was going to be a 2 playthrough stream, but it's going to be like 8 playthroughs. Some really short ones in there, though. Okay, that's the parcel. Also, you'll notice that I always walk on the path that is required for minimum battles if encounters are turned on the route. I think that it is unfair for comparison's sake to change... Oh, not that was just a mistake, but like, I think it's unfair to change the routing that I take through an area or the choices that I make based on knowing that there are going to be no encounters. So like, even though I turn the encounters off, I still play as if they would be on. Because again, I'm not trying to change the game. My goal is to just reduce variance because of RNG unrelated to the Pokemon that I'm solo running. I want to do Nose Pass this year. That one is one I've been thinking about for a while. I almost did it last year, but then I chickened out. Actually, I didn't. I just had, like, no time. I gotta do 2 playthroughs with it, though. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Please let it start with something that can deal with Roxanne. Guess it'll get Harden. Well, Pride is actually okay with this. You would have to Gen 1 miss like twice or 3 times in a row. It would have to be truly terrible luck. My overworld routing is getting a lot better. If you watched me like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was bumping into everything and just bonks everywhere. Speaking of which, there's no bonk counter today. I just noticed that. Can't believe no one has said that to me. That has to be the feature that I added to my overlay that got the most fanfare. Like, people were just like overwhelmingly positive about it. I added so many other things, thought people would be like, this is awesome. I'm so glad you added that. Crickets. Then I add a bonk counter and everyone's like, yes, this is exciting. We really want to see the number of times you hit the wall. I want to save Water Gun PP for the last guy on this route. Don't have to take him tons of hits with the with Quick Attack to knock out the Metapod. Two Water Guns for each one of his Pokemon should be enough. Oh. Oh. Okay. So when I was a kid, I wanted to buy a Marshall amp for my guitar, and my parents were wise, and they were like, they wanted me to have good habits. They were like, we're not going to buy it for you. If you want it, you have to get a job and you can work for it. And then when you have enough money saved up, you'll be able to buy it. Only then. And so I was like, okay, I'll get a job. I did a landscaping job, like digging dirt, shoveling dirt, moving bricks, building gardens, cutting grass, that kind of thing. The cutting grass was the easiest part of the job. And I have, like, the feeling in my body when I would finish that job. Like, I remember one time, the guy who I was working for, because I was working for this guy who, like, owned this giant house out in the countryside. And he was just like, I need someone here to just take care of the stuff so I never have to worry about it. And then at the beginning of the day, because he really wanted his place to look really nice, so he'd, like, take me out and be like, hey, what about this thing? Like, can you, like, dig up this entire garden bed so that we can plant flowers in it? And the garden bed, I kid you not, was like 8 feet deep by like 40 feet long. It was huge. And the weeds were like 5 feet tall. This is ridiculous. And he's like, yeah, like when I get home tonight, like I hope it's done. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like this is giant. It's impossible. Yeah, I was like 14, so like I spent the whole day digging this thing up, getting all the weeds out of it. I did it. I did it in the day, but it was one of the most exhausting experiences of my life. Listened to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket the entire time. It's a core memory of mine now. Nope. Anyways, yeah, the feeling of exhaustion that I felt after that, it was, I just realized if she uses X-Defend, you can literally just tail whip and then she can never get that defense back because she only has 1 X-Defend per Pokemon. That's smart. Yeah, like now it can get to plus, I guess it can still get the same because she can use Hardens with this one, but with the other one, that's a good strat. Anyways, when I got home, the level of exhaustion that I felt in my body is something that it's like rare that I feel that. And I'm sure you feel that if you do like a really like manual labor intensive job all the time, but that deep sense of like, just like your body being so fatigued. Yeah, I actually get that when I stream. Like right after a stream for about 30 to 40 minutes, my body is like just done. It's hard for me to talk. It's hard for me to like be motivated to do other things. I'm just like so exhausted. It's like, I don't know what it is about streaming that does that. I think it's just like I'm very, very, very hyper focused and on all the time. And it just depletes me. Nothing like hard child labor. Yeah. 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 It was I think it was a really good experience. It definitely taught me a lot of things. And I did buy the amp after it. I still have it. Tech Hunter, I actually talked about Exceptional earlier in the video. In the stream. I was watching, what's it called? The Dragonite versus Tyranitar versus Metagross that he did. I also chat with him on Discord sometimes. That's all I'll say. Yeah, like, also back then, like, Jordan, like, I didn't have any skills to get a job. Like, I had no skills, so, like, I just had to, like, dig stuff. Like, anyone can dig stuff. Or, like, I guess, unless you have, like, something physically that, like, prevents you from being able to dig stuff, but it doesn't take, like, any... You don't have to, like, go to school for, like, how to dig the weeds out of this thing. Just, like, dig the weeds up. Pretty straightforward. Someone's going to comment and say, actually, no one ever taught me how to dig things. And then I'll realize my privilege because I grew up learning a lot about like gardening and taking care of plants and those sort of things. Okay, we're going to get to Bill's house probably before 10 minutes. Do you ever think you'll do some egg move stuff in the future, or will you leave that to him? Yeah, I'm going to do egg move stuff. I just haven't had time for it yet. It's like, how do I fit it in? Like, do we do like, okay, so like, let's say we're doing one video for every game every month, right? That's 5 videos every month, so slightly more than one a week for the entire year. And if I do that all year, and let's just say January to November, or February to November, that's 10 videos in each series. We get 1 episode. 10 times. So if now I do egg moves, now the episode count drops to 9 if I do just 1. But am I going to do 1 egg move video for the entire year? No, I'll probably do 2 or 3, like mix them in. Now we only get 7 main series videos in that game. If there are 386 Pokemon in Generation 3, and I run 10 of them every year, calculate for me the number of years that it will take me to finish Emerald with every single Pokemon. Did you know this was math class? It is. It's math class. I did save a rare candy before the champion. And I did level up going into the Flareon, not the Cloyster. 40 years. Yeah, see? See? Too many years. That's too long. I do need to complete this, and like, let's optimistically say, I should finish Emerald version on the channel in 20 years. So like, in that case, I need to either double my production, or I need to double my production, and I need to do no egg move videos. So really what I have to do is I have to like 10x improve behind the scenes. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm literally trying to do that. And I think I will do that. I don't believe that things are impossible. It is a character flaw of mine. You also have to recognize too that like there is a certain like inertial momentum that is working against me. Unlike the universe, which is ever expanding, to the best of our current knowledge, on my channel, the rate of progress in each series is ever slowing down because I am constantly introducing new games. And so the more new games that I introduce, the more of my time gets siphoned away from the original series, and that slows their progress down. So the only way to counteract that is injecting energy into the system in another way, which can be done through efficiency improvements. Because the way to not do things is to just make the quality terrible. Like, the quality has to stay the same or get better at the same time as improving output rate. Then I will be able to play more Pokemon games, learn more about the series in general, improve my skills, and complete the series in a decent amount of time. I feel like I'm a little bit slow in the early game this time. Like, I don't think I've done anything wrong with my play, but like, maybe just turn counts and stuff, that does have like a big impact on things. Like, maybe Misty was slower, I don't know. Okay, don't be awful, Surge. Why? Why you gotta do it like that? Why you gotta do that? Ha! Machop is the final video, yeah. Also, really annoying Surge reset. Hopefully we don't get 2. Oh. 3 is unacceptable. Okay, well, that's really bad. Like, this is when you get that sinking feeling that just demotivates. It actually doesn't demotivate me, it just demotivates me in this playthrough. Because I'm like, oh, I know now I'm not like pushing for PB time in this portion of the run. And then it's like, well, even if I do set a new record at the very end, I always am going to think about the time that was lost here. But I don't have infinite time. that is one of the constraints that we just talked about that I push up against all the time. Is like there's never infinite time, so you have to choose really carefully what you do choose to do. And like I have to film other videos and do production, so like this has to be the final run for this stream. That's okay. Eventually, I'm sure I'll come back around and try Vaporeon and stuff again. But either way, we already set a PB, so like we can be happy with this in general because we've improved its ranking. Or at least I'll feel happy with it. There's going to be at least one person that's like, but actually the run was terrible. Surge won twice. I know. I know. I feel your pain too. Your pain lives inside me. It's like all the Jedi are. I am all the Jedi. It's like feels like I am all the negative comments. They all live within me. Come on. Hope you don't like that movie, but that's a bad movie. Wow. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Okay. I don't think we'll just fight this person. It's fine. This one only really goes wrong if, like, a lot has to go wrong for this fight to be a problem. They made more. Yeah, that's the correct comment. Okay. Alright, what could go wrong next? I could make some kind of serious player error, which would cause a problem. Really until Sabrina or Blaine. I think I'm kind of good. And then I have to remind myself that Giovanni, I want to do first turn acid armor. It'll boost my speed, boost my special, and it'll also make me take less damage from the Doug Trio and one less hit from the Persian. That is going to be what I need to really iron that out. Okay, decent pace to here, honestly, for losing time on Surge. This is like going to be the third full run of the video, but I reset like three times maybe. Early on, 2 or 3 times, I don't remember. We're going to get this. I kind of like was indecisive about it last time, but this time I'm just going to get it. I think I'll... the one in here is... It's like sunk cost fallacy is getting me right now. Don't go with it. Just do the right thing. Like, the other one would have been faster. Yeah, but like, I already got it, so I can't go back and change it. Let's just cut time even if it's not the right time to cut. That's bag bloat. Gotta be careful. Don't let your bag get bloated. Especially by balls at this point. Like, if you've caught your Pidgey user, you don't need any more balls. Although sometimes you need to buy great balls here. To get the Doduo. That. I think there is an argument to be made that we should get one more speed to outspeed something. It was, I think, the Rivals Kadabra in Sylph, but we should be fine without it. I'm not gonna get Blizzard, so I'll put it on Surf. Ooh. Hello, Scott. Love your content, mate. Thanks. It's good to have you here. Well, now Bubble Beam is definitely the right choice. It actually is anyways. It's the correct choice on all these Pokemon except the Fearow. Okay, run 6 if we count 2 runs that died near the start. Alright. Oh, I'm getting a pizza craving. I want pizza so bad right now. Pizza would be great. Playing some Relicanth and having some pizza sounds like a great night to me. Oh no. Oh no, don't paralyze me. Okay, we're good. I think going for Ice Beam here, since it's going to be a 2-hit anyways, I think Ice Beam is the correct choice because then you have the chance to freeze, which will reduce some of the RNG. I could go for Ice Beam here again. See? Like, that could be bad. With Vaporeon, we have so much health that it's never really going to be an issue, I don't think. I like... You know, as I've gotten older, my tastes have like when I was younger, I was like pepperoni pizza exclusively. I didn't eat anything else. But like as I've gotten older, I think my I like a whole bunch of different things. I really like Greek pizza, like when it has like feta and like a bunch of different veggies on it. And then I'll like a meat lover's pizza is great too. Pepperoni is good. I'm not a huge fan of cheese just because it's not extremely exciting. My dad exclusively eats Hawaiian pizza. He eats nothing else. My dad has he eats like 3 things. He eats like burgers with like ketchup, or he used to, and then like Hawaiian pizza and stuff like that. Now he's like he did a carnivore diet now, so he only eats meat. It's like he likes to have like 1 or 2 things that he can cook all the time that he just knows he's gonna eat, and that's super simple. I'm kind of similar. I think if I could really have my way, which I'm married, so not related to my marriage, related to running into this trainer. Just gonna be clear about that, Scream. Anyways, I think if I could have things my way, I would probably just eat like the same meal every day. That seems like really comforting to me. Or like 2 meals every day. I don't eat breakfast. I don't like breakfast, but I can have a lunch because like sometimes you just like want to spend time with people in the middle of the day, and then it makes sense to have lunch. Oh gosh, where is it? It's here. Oh, everything's falling apart. Terrible. Talking about pizza and meals. How long has my dad been carnivore? For a while. Maybe 3 years? Maybe 3 years. He had like heart surgery because he has like a condition that is like affects your heart, where like even if you're really healthy and eat really well your whole life, you have extremely high cholesterol, called like hypercholesterolemia or something like that. I'm lucky that I did not, to the best of our knowledge, get it. But like he was like a fitness person his whole life, and he had heart surgery when he was like 60. But since then, he was like, I want to get off all the medicine. So he did carnivore diet, and now he's on no medicine. Like, all right, Dad, fine. And he's like ripped. It's ridiculous. And I'm playing Pokemon games. Elite water gun. Okay. And now we go to Sylph. I was like, I should probably heal. I probably should have healed, but I didn't, so I'm not going to go back for it, and I don't want to set my waypoint to Saffron because I want to be teleporting back to fight Erica after I finish this area. Okay, so I leveled up slightly early, so we're gonna rare candy now. We might get, like, squeeze out a level elsewhere. The reason I leveled up early is because I fought the one optional trainer. Just for anyone who's wondering, because there's going to be someone watching this, and it makes sense if you're watching this, like the valid or the perspective I usually have when I'm watching someone play is like, it's so much easier to see all the little mistakes and to just be like, I would do much better. I would fix all those things. Then you actually get in the driver's seat and you try and you're like, actually, it's really hard to play extremely cleanly all the time. And it tends to be as I get tired, the small mistakes start to creep in a little bit more. Okay. Hopefully we're good here. Oh yeah, this is going well. Yeah, this is really good. Okay. Yeah, see, look at how little the Kadabra did to me. Like, we don't need to try and outspeed it. That would be a mistake that I would have made, like, a year and a half ago. I would have been so hyper-fixated on the fact that I don't outspeed all the Pokemon that I'm like, it's not consistent enough. And then I would have really invested in trying to get more speed by fighting some extra trainers, maybe using some more vitamins, picking up items to buy vitamins. Vitamins, that's what I was going to say. And that would just bleed a bunch of time, which I don't need to do. Okay. So this is all pretty simple. Now Erica. Oh, so someone commented on this. I'm gonna tell on myself here. There's a voiceover line that I read for Gramble versus Clefable, where I'm like talking about like the most defensive Pokemon ever, and on screen you're seeing Bruno's Onix, and then we cut to the Umbreon in the Karen fight, and Gramble one-shots it. And it's like it turned out to be this really nice moment where it's like, ha ha ha, it's a joke about Onix being bad. Turns out that's all a complete coincidence. Unless Sean stitched that together perfectly to be timed that way. Because when I was recording the voiceover, I was legitimately just looking at the Umbreon footage. And then it turns out in post later on, someone commented on it. I'm like, oh yeah, like wow, that little moment just like, it just happened. Sometimes nice coincidences like that occur. Boxy Tunic, how are you today, Scott? I'm good. I'm feeling good. Yeah, so far things with this run they're fine. I had like disappointing resets in both this playthrough and then the second one that I did on the second full one that I did. The first run was like, it was fine. It was not great compared to like what I wanted it to be. This is also not great here. I was like, I calculated the number of hits I would need and I was like, I'm going to be fine. Maybe I'm not going to be fine. Maybe I'm really not going to be fine. Okay, I'm fine. Poison animation's coming up. Watch out. Because you can go over here and get this, and then heal with your mum when you go to Cinnabar. It's the way to do it. Just spam A through that dialogue. Once you get to the Pidgey, then you can heal here. That doesn't set your waypoint to Pallet Town, by the way, so you can always come back here. Or like you won't come back here. You'll go to wherever else the waypoint is set to. I believe right now it's set to Celadon City, which is not ideal in this portion of the game, but relevant in some other runs. Because you don't want to set the waypoint. You want to keep it on Saffron, for example. That's usually where I want my waypoint set throughout the mid-game. Do I have two? Oh, I do. Hopefully I didn't go over the threshold. No, I didn't. Of course, I'm on minimum battles. Or near minimum battles. Scott's Thoughts Pokemon minimum battles. Okay, Blaine. Let's do this. I don't know if you can set your Blackout Warp Up point to Pallet Down. I think it's set there by default, and then once it gets unset, it never gets set back. I'm not sure, though. I would have to look at the game to find that out. Okay, let's hope that Blaine is not awful, because he can be, even if you're using a water type. Well, that's a good first turn. Okay, the defense drop again is not what I want to see. But it's not the end of the world, because I do get more speed than the Arcanine and the Rapidash by 1 point, actually. Okay, so Blaine was awful this time. Well done. Get Acid Armor. We'll dig out of here. Blizzard is not the better choice, because we don't get like a dramatically improved damage range on the Exeggutor against the champion by using Blizzard. We actually get a lower % chance to knock the Exeggutor out with 2 hits, with a small chance that we could potentially one hit. It's like a 23% chance, 23.4 I think, something like that. All right, Psywave. Hey, it did more than one day. Ah, that yes! I love when Psywave does almost nothing. It's so silly. Oh, that was a big Psywave. Okay, they got one big Psywave, but I think it was 1 damage. It was 1 or 2. I couldn't tell if I had 179 before it hit or 178. Yeah. Backported Gengar, if it even had Confusion, would be exceptional. I think, yes, sub 35 would be possible. Soul's taking my channel. Oh no. Oh no, it's gone. Vaporeon Reddish for Valentine's Day? Yeah, I guess. It's kind of, I kind of did like a bunch of cute Pokemon this week, because, well, Grand Bull, like, I know, maybe not, but like, mostly pink Pokemon, fairy Pokemon, Roselia, and then, and now Vaporeon. I felt like it was fitting. Yeah, the one later this week is not going to be super thematic. Okay, Acid Armor on the turn that it goes for Dig. It's going to come up. Oh, I need another Acid Armor. Cool. I need 2 to outspeed. Well, 2 is fine. We'll outspeed the Persian. Maybe 1 hit? No. Okay, we take slash damage, but that's fine because we have guaranteed 1 hits on everything else. Doesn't matter if I lose my badge boosts. So let's sweep. And then I'm going to 2 rare candies. See, that one fight that I did earlier didn't help in any material way because I'm going to rare candy now twice. And I lose like a bunch of experience on this level. Whereas I would have leveled up going into the Rhydon rather than into the Nidoking previously. Okay. Now 1 rare candy before Agatha, and then 1 before the champion. That's the last 2. Huh! Poisoned me right away. Okay. Sure. And then crits with Swift. Alright. It's a not a great start to the fight, but I don't think I need to heal. I think we're fine without healing. Unless this, like, confuses me and then I get, like, really unlucky. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Wow. Is it better that you're unaware that's a... I don't know what it's a copy past. I have no idea. That slash did not crit. That slash did not crit. I want to point that out. That was the 1 in 256 chance for slash to not crit, I think. Because the Sand Slash has enough speed to crit every time when it uses it. So we, he got unlucky there. Okay, I got unlucky in the previous fight. Still, look at the time. The time's great. This still potentially could be sub 40 at the current pace. Usually it takes about 7 minutes to finish the game after you defeat Giovanni. And right now, And like Vaporeon has a decently fast endgame. It's not like the fastest, but it's decently fast. We don't just like one-shot all of Lorelei's Pokemon. That's definitely one of the slower fights, that one in Agatha. I'm focusing. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're gonna get sub 40. I think we're slightly too slow. All right, let's go. Lorelei. I think I'll just go for this. It's seeming to really like to do takedown then rest, which, yeah, that's what it goes for. Hopefully we get... Okay, takedown, perfect. So that's really quick Dugong. Hopefully it misses Supersonic the Cloyster. Spike Cannon is also good, because we can 2-hit then, and move on to the Slowbro with no status condition, Mimic Amnesia. Set up. Hopefully it just doesn't mess up my special by going for Psychic. Then we have good PP. I always have good PP. Can knock it out. It just spammed Amnesia the whole time. Didn't attack me. So silly. Hilarious. And then we'll knock the Lapras out after the confusion stops being... Oh gosh. Well, I guess I have to heal for the next one. I have to use a PP item anyways. Let's go. Second fight. Don't know who this guy is, but he's bad. Slowbro is bulky when it sets up to +6 with Amnesia, yeah. It's like, it just like tanks all the hits. Alright, rare candy here. Go. Quite frustrating first turn, getting confused. It can prevent my attacks now, even though I am behind a substitute. It will just do no damage to me or my substitute. It technically deals it to the enemy's substitute, which is hilarious. But, okay, it's not relevant. A little bit like annoying, but I'm not going to make a huge material impact in this fight. But as you can see, if you look at the timer, we're still, like, hopefully what you can tell now is that we're, like, starting to push up against, like, oh, okay, at least we woke up. Whew. Hopefully what you can tell now is that we're definitely pushing up against the, like, sort of skill ceiling for Vaporeon. Like, it can do better, obviously, if we have better luck at Surge, if I don't run into that one optional trainer, but there isn't that much that can be done. You can actually badge boost here a lot because this thing has a Leer. And like Dragon Rage and Hyper Beam are not going to do a lot to me if I'm badge boosting, so this fight is actually trivial, realizing that. I don't know why in my previous video I thought I needed rest for this fight. I do specifically talk about that, like how if I didn't have rest for Lance it would have been scarier, but like, would it? He seems fine. Rest for the champion though. I think I want rest for the champion. Maybe, no, let's just do the Earthquake strats again. Also, since we're close to the end, I really appreciate everyone being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's really fun playing Pokemon. If you liked the stream, please do like it. It helps me out a lot. And it takes one small click from all of you. Look at that. I'm being a good YouTuber. Good job. Okay, now let's beat the champion. Leech Seed's annoying. I'm going to 3-hit the Cloyster. Hopefully it doesn't crit. Why did I surf? Very bad. I think I lose. I'm definitely going to lose because of that. It could miss. It could Gen 1 miss, right? Like, oh, we're dead. That's just player error. Wait, no, I don't have 2 candies. I used one before Agatha and then one before the champion. I have no candies left. The goal level is 58. Huh! Could we stop poisoning with Poison Sting and then like doing massive damage like that? Oh my gosh. See, this is why I prefer rest strats for the champion. Hopefully you can see it. Like, when you take damage this early on, then like he's gonna get Leech Seed. Unless he misses, he doesn't miss. And like now I'm gonna take a little bit of damage every turn. Cloyster is probably, and yeah, Magneton of course is surviving the earthquakes. So rest is the better strategy here. Well, we figured that out. Even though this run is dead now. Oh, this is deeply disappointing. Yeah. Oh, that's also deeply disappointing. Wow. It only ever use Leech Seed, so it's another reason rest is really good, because you know that there's a free heal here. Or relatively free. I have to get by this thing, and this thing is a nightmare. It has to use Thunderbolt, by the way. If it uses Thunder Wave, I think I'd die. Or it at least gets much harder on the Cloyster. I'm just going for it here. This is not the most safe play, but... 1 o'clock in. No! Okay, good. If that crit, I would have been so disappointed. Alright. 43-03 with 5 resets again at level 59. It'll be a higher game time, I think. I'd be really surprised if it's lower. Yep. 240. It was like 237 last time. This was like fairly on pace with the last run. But I don't think I played well in this run. This is what, number 4, I think? This is like the 4th finish I've done with Vaporeon. No. 5th finish. Was this the 3rd one today? Yeah, this is the 3rd one today. This is the 5th finish. Was last time 242? Maybe it was. Yeah, I can see that. Can't stop. Won't stop. Never stopping. We're getting a better result with Vaporeon. I will do this. I know that it can do it. Again. This is what generally happens, by the way, when I'm doing these runs. Like, that's why there's like 7 in most versus videos. Is because like the second run always feels like better. You're like, yeah, I did better. Okay, good. And you feel like if you stop after number 2, you always feel quite good, in my opinion. Like, it's just like, oh, I made things better. I improved like 40 minutes of time. Feels great. But then when you come back for the third one and you get a worse result than the second time, you're like, oh, no. I know that I'm thinking about this better now. I can definitely like hunker down a little bit, just really like dig in, and eventually I'm going to be able to secure a better result for this Pokemon. And then you get stuck in the RNG of like Surge beating you 3 times in a row, and you're like, should I reset? Then you finish it and you're like 20 seconds under your PB or something. You're like, yeah, but what if the Surge resets weren't there? Then you start fishing for better Surge luck. You play like 30 attempts just hoping that Surge isn't going to paralyze you or hit you with Thunderbolt or crit you or something like that. Also, I'm realizing now that holding on to Sand Attack might actually be the play for Surge. Turn 1 Sand Attack could be really nice just to help improve the consistency in that fight. Because it takes Vaporeon a decent number of turns to knock the Raichu out. I remember Roy. Roy helped me edit my scripts. This is a long time ago. This is like very oh no. I crit the Pidgey. By the way, this is why I do not make Pokeballs 100% catch rate, because let's say you're Zapdos. You can't attack the Pidgey because you'll knock it out with both your moves because you're just like, you're a big bird and you're just way too strong. With Vaporeon, it can attack. So that's actually an advantage for it in being able to weaken the Pidgey and use a Pokeball for more consistent results. So Zapdos had to take more attempts at the early game to get the Pidgey, like a ridiculous number of resets just because the Pidgey would break out of the Pokeball. And I would never buy 2 Pokeballs because why would you buy 2 Pokeballs? Then if you catch it with the first one, you have to drop the second one and waste time. That's not optimal. You don't expect that kind of play from me. Alright. Yeah, this is like Surge's redemption arc. I hope not. Not this time. This time we're going to win first time. I know it. We can do it. We can do it. No, stop poisoning me. It's wasting time. Both on text and then menuing after this battle. Yeah. I think like you need to get like the level 8 Pidgey or something. And then you can catch it with some damage. But again, like it's a more constrained space of possible options. Whereas with Vaporeon, it's like it's gonna catch pretty much any Pidgey that it runs into in the forest. I don't know what a box and whisker plot is. Don't know what that is. I gotta look it up. Which I can't do right now. What did I miss? It was the last run, and then some things got bad. Also, this is bad. I was not paying attention. We'll be fine. Quick attack is going to be enough for this. It'll just be a little bit slow. Plus, we're not losing like all our time here. Like, this is like, if we lose like 10 seconds here, 15 seconds here, like, that's okay. Where we really don't want to lose the time is against Surge. Also, those 2 crits were really helpful. How would Vaporeon rate? Right now, S tier. Hopefully, we're going to get it into a higher position in the S tier by the end of this stream. Because It's really good. I hope you're all seeing how good this thing is. Like, even, like, the only thing holding it back is my misplays and then RNG at Surge. Although we could have bad RNG against Giovanni, for example, to slow us down. Well, also, it would be nice to fix that reset against the rival on Route 22. Like, that was kind of brutal. It has 65 speed too, so it will guarantee crits with Slash. That might be the better choice against the Magneton. I don't know. Mimicking that? So you can't teach Mimic before that fight. But also Mimic Withdraw. Set up badge boosts more. Instead of Acid Armor. Maybe I'll try that and then one hit the Magneton. I think I'll do that. It's kind of a funny play. Acid Armor and Withdraw in your set. You just don't set up with Acid Armor at the beginning of the fight. Then Mimic Withdraw. And Withdraw counteracts the Cloyster's Supersonic, so you can stall it out till you don't have Confusion, then knock it out. Then against the Magneton, just one hit with Surf, because your special will be so high. I use a controller. Microsoft Elite controller. It's like definitely not the cheapest controller. If you're on a budget, I would not recommend it. But I personally think it's really, really, really good. If you do want to like splurge a little bit. Also, this is like terrible luck. Wow, just beat the Goldeen trainer. Encouraging. Okay, that's the one where you tail whip, I think. I think that'll minimize the number of turns it takes to quick attack that thing down. Can we not tackle? Can we not tackle? Thank you. Okay, well, there's the X defend. So now we're gonna water gun. Oh, this is my heart. Okay, I'm gonna survive one more, so I think I'm dead. It's gonna hit one. I have like so much health to get through. Or it's not? Question mark? Yeah! Alright. Good job, Vaporeon. Yeah, Blizzard, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Like, Blizzard instead of Ice Beam to one-hit the Executor so that you don't get stuck in the Leech Seed. But I don't think you need that. Like, with Rest, I think the champion is just consistent. And you don't need to play around with, like, being a little bit less... I don't think you need to play around with that. Like, I think you're just fine no matter what. Like, it's slower if it gets Leech Seed, and it's more annoying, but you'll be fine. You just used all my luck for the rest of the run? Yeah, Alan. Yeah, you're probably right. It's gonna be like 8 resets to Surge. Yeah, Blizzard is like... It's like 23% chance to knock the Executor out. And it has a lower chance to 2-hit because it has low accuracy. So like... It's more consistent overall to just 2-hit with Ice Beam. I'm trying to use more Water Gun throughout this route so that I don't have such bad PP problems by the time I get to Vermilion, because before it's been like, I've been like just squeezing by. You could say it's a tight fit. But I've been able to pull it off, so. Okay. Get Charmander. Fight this guy. Bubble Beam. Then Water Gun. I'm gonna eat a pizza for you, Scott. Oh, good. Good. in the most recent Fire Red run I did the exact routing here that I did right now, where you go up and talk to this guy, and then I like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, do I reset now to get Secret Power? Because Secret Power is the TM instead of Seismic Toss, and Secret Power is much better than Seismic Toss. Hey, speed! We crit the Oddish! That was great. Awesome. I have 2 extra PP because of all of that extra effort. But granted, I would probably have 0 if I hadn't done it. I think maybe Blizzard and Earthquake synergize better together. Like, if you're going to go for the Earthquake strat on the champion, maybe you should go for Blizzard in that case. Like, that makes a ton of sense to me. Oh, I have an elixir. Never mind, I have way more PP. It's giant. We can just spam all day and we're going to be fine. Last time I was using the ether there, not the elixir. That made a big difference. It's like, hey, I got the frame perfect there. Picked up the... the full restore, the text box closes instantly and it completes instantly if you get frame perfect input after coming through the stairs and you pick it up right away. It's rare for that to happen. By the way, I have to use Bubble Beam on those. Only a roughly 39.4% chance to knock out using Water Gun. And these are both required Bubble Beams as well. Otherwise, I won't one hit. There is the possibility also of like cutting the large majority of the department store out of the run and just buying more basic repels over there. There is also the possibility, which I probably should have considered right before this, but like I could go and get Body Slam first, then beat the rival, then come back here and get rest so that I can use Body Slam on these water types, which is probably going to be slightly faster in terms of the battle time. But I don't know if it's like overall the best because I'm going to forget rest every single time because I never do things in that order. And then I get very forgetful because it's not a part of my regular muscle memory. Sometimes it's better to prioritize like having the correct muscle memory or like following the muscle memory so that you don't exhaust yourself so much early on into the run. But yeah. Okay, so like, yeah. Encounters on Route 6 are just, it just makes sense to chance them because there's so few grass patches. And buying in Cerulean, the repels, it wastes more time than Vermilion because there's more steps out of the way. I know it's like that's like a really small detail, but yeah. That was my decision on those things. And why I went to this. I went to this, I think it was the Smeargle race or the... Not Parasect, probably Smeargle. Because I saw someone else doing it, I'm like, yeah, that's smart. Like, I should probably do that. Like, it's going to save time overall in most playthroughs. I could not play it blindfolded, no way. Visual information is so important. Also, I'm quite behind on my time right now. So while Misty was lucky, it was not fast. So we're gonna hope that Surge goes well. Okay, please, please, please. Mega Kick. Paralyzed, yes. Yes! First attempt Surge. Okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. Feels way better. No, I don't think we're ending before Surge, because it doesn't change anything meaningfully in the battle other than just like more health and more special, but like... The real problem there is just him choosing the moves that are good. You need him to not choose the good moves. As long as he chooses the bad moves, you're safe. Alright, hopefully this one is not bad as well. Because it could be. Oh, yes, crit. All right, so like we're off to a great start so far. Misty, Wrapping, Surge, and Wrapping Less. Well, okay, we got paralyzed, so okay, Growth. It's going to modify my speed, by the way. when it uses Growth, watch my speed. My speed will go down, which is hilarious. So we need to wait till it, yeah, see Growth again, and then my speed went down to 1. This is a glitch where the enemy modifying its stats inflicts the target with the paralysis debuff again. It also occurs with burn. And you can abuse this against the enemy if you want. It works both ways. So if you paralyze them and they're still faster than you in some horrendous case, you can then modify your own stats and lower their stats in the process. Hilariously, I kind of like this game design. But it's usually the case that your speed is already so low from the paralysis debuff that it just doesn't matter. That it just doesn't matter that that it was dropped again. Like, it's a rare Pokemon that gets hit by the paralysis debuff and is still faster than the opponent. For example, Electrode. That's one example of a Pokemon there that I think continues to outspeed the Bellsprouts. It's nice having extra body slams here. I think Vaporeon is good enough to use the full restore there, because it doesn't need that many healing items in this run. Whereas with other Pokemon, I would probably go for a little bit more conservative strat there and use like the potions or Max Potion or something that I picked up earlier. Saving the full restore for Sylph specifically when there's a higher concentration of Pokemon that can poison you. Or paralyze you. Like the Arbok can paralyze you. And I have Body Slam for this Oddish. By the way, it's not a 1-hit, so it's going to be a 2-hit, but I have a chance to paralyze, so that's good. That was an intentional water gun, by the way. Sometimes this, like, it itches my brain in, like, the perfect way, but, like, using, like, one move, and then using the next move on the set, and then the next move, it just feels so satisfying. I don't know why. I heard about the, like, Legacy Yellow. That's really cool. I'll play it eventually. No plans to play it in the near future. I would totally play it if he reached out and was like, hey, you want to, like, play this and, like, review it or something? I would play it then, but, like, all things unchanged as they are now, I'll play it when I get to it, but there's lots of other work to do first. And I'll play Crystal Legacy eventually as well, too. And I'll do it on the channel as a video, like, don't worry. Shouldn't have got this. Oh, that's a bad spot to talk to him. He has to walk around you, it takes longer. Yeah, this is playthrough number 4 today. Also, you have to walk one step that direction and then back the other direction. Don't do that. Okay, up we go. This run is feeling so much better. Hopefully I don't fumble it like I did last time with that trainer on Cycling Road. Really hoping that I don't. Like, you're never going to use Water Gun after this point in the game. It actually doesn't matter what you get rid of. Just get rid of something that takes less clicks. That's what I'm realizing. By the way, you cannot reset the cursor from the top of the moveset to the bottom of the moveset when teaching Pokemon moves. That caused so many errors when I was first starting making these videos, because you can everywhere else in the game, but not in that specific case. Also not in the case that you're mimicking a move during battle. There's some really weird, like, Yeah, just very strange how the design is like functions differently in those two different states. Yeah, I wanted to do a re-rank of Rayquaza before I did the playthrough with Steve M Plays and Speedrunner in yellow. I wanted to do Rayquaza 2 back-to-back days with streams. But I was having so many tech problems that unfortunately that did not come to pass. Maybe Rayquaza next month or something. I'll do it at some point. Ice Beam. No. Parafusion. The worst. Bite's bad. We don't need it. It's not dark in this game. Remember that. It's very important. See, this is why these are problematic, because they have Nightshade. Nightshade is like really good at this point in the game. Oh. I didn't... what? Geodude? I don't think I catch Geodude or... I don't catch Geodude or Onix ever in yellow. Am I missing something? I don't know. I'm missing something, I think. Yeah, Raichu is like... If you have Dig, Raichu is not a problem. Raichu is really only a problem when it crits with Mega Kick or Mega Punch, or it uses Thunderbolt and you're weak to it. Those are the scenarios you want to watch out for against Surge. And like there's generally no play around them. You just have to hope he doesn't do that. Like you can try and outspeed the Raichu with 66 speed because the Raichu has 65, but in most cases that just wastes too much time because eventually he's just going to drop the ball and not do a good move and you just win. And it's like you spend like 20 to 40 seconds resetting against him, whereas if you were to train up, it would take like 3 minutes, and then you're like, well, yes, I am a higher level for the rest of the playthrough, which can be advantageous, but was this really necessary? Okay. You see that? You see that perfect motion there with no accidental encounter on a biker? Yeah. That's the kind of play that I expect myself to perform for all of you. High quality, only the best plays here on Scott's Thoughts. This is not Scott's Thoughts, this is Scott's Plays. The best in the industry. Oh no. Nah! I knew that was gonna happen. So the way the brake works on the bike, it changes when you get into a battle, which is why I got into the fight there. I was trying to get the brake to activate again, but I could not in time. And the reason we got into a battle is because Vaporeon is beating the game at such a low level that the repel does not block the encounter from the Ponyta. So that was like all of the bad things happening all at once. Why not just hug the wall? Because I want the rare candy from the grass patch. And like I could have pushed over to like go to the wall, but then I would be out of line with the rare candy. And the rare candy is right there. So trying to activate B. Also in those moments, I don't know if how your brain works, but like my brain is genuinely not like, I have like these 6 different options. My brain is just like, oh gosh, I gotta make sure the brake activates. And then like, I tried to do it and it didn't work. Yeah, I didn't bike strats this one. It's fine. You lose about 4 seconds not doing the bike here. So it's not a huge deal. I'll heal this time. Last time I didn't heal here. Yeah, B breaks the bike, just so you know. A lot of people didn't know that. Like, yeah, the bike has a brake, I know. Like, when I found it out, my mind was blown. Yeah, if you hold B, it just doesn't move. You can accurately move around on the route. Still no resets. It's like 1 extra battle, but like, oh well. Like, we had 1 extra battle last time. And the time was still really good going into the champion, so it's not the end of the world. Full rare candy now. Oh, I also didn't teach surf. I read all the trainer tips back in the day. Wow. Were the tips helpful? There's one of the trainer tips. I should show it to all of you after. We'll go and look at it after. There's a ridiculous trainer tips. So we'll watch the credits and stuff, and then I'll spawn back in the game and beat Oak, and then we'll look at the trainer tips. So funny. This one, it's so ridiculously bad. It's like they give you trainer tips, but like everything about it is wrong. Okay. Rival 5. So far, this fight has not been a problem. Oh, it's gonna be... Okay, well, he confused me then. I was like, it's gonna be less of a problem if he doesn't confuse me, but... I think the worst thing that can happen in this fight is if the Magneton paralyzes you. I think that's like the worst case scenario for the whole fight. But yeah, easy. Yeah, I thought about backporting Mega Evolutions. I have to backport the mechanic. I don't really feel good about like playing Mega Evolutions where like you don't have to change into them in that battle. I don't know. It just like seems like that's part of it. I guess I could just enter them in like regular Pokemon and then play the game with them, but I don't know. Something's a little bit off with that. I think, yeah, I usually teach Surf to Squirtle. Even if I have a water Pokemon. You waste some time, or at least I waste time, because I never remember that my main Pokemon has the move. And then I just like go down to Squirtle, find that it doesn't have it, then I have to go back up to my main Pokemon, waste some time. Whereas if Squirtle has it as well, then you just like Surf and you're fine. And those little things I find later into the run, they can like tilt me. Because I'm like, oh, I should have remembered that. Like, I just had a silly thing happen on Cycling Road. Now I'm starting to get, like, a little bit heated. And then you make a mistake against, like, Giovanni or something, and then everything falls apart. Also, thanks, everyone, for hanging out. It's great to have you all here. Hope you're enjoying the Gen 1 stuff. I love this game. He said enthusiastically. Okay, Erica's defeated. By the way, you really want to face Erica before you face Koga so that you can go get the Warden candy right after you defeat Koga, because that saves one trip with a fly. If you have to get the Warden candy, like you have to backtrack to get it, then you fly more times. And you also don't want to get it before you beat Koga, because then you have to fly one more time as well. 86.5% chance to one hit. Did not get it. Okay. And we got a special drop, but the Hypno does not know, it doesn't know Body Slam, so we're fine. Yeah, we got a full restore. I knew we did. I only used one. There's 2. You pick up 2 for free. And then you can get 2 Max Potions and a Hyper Potion if you really want. Max Potion in SSN, Max Potion on the bed beside the Healing Lady, the left bed, and then the Hyper Potion right by the Rival 5. Okay, Kogo is really straightforward this time. That was the first time that he was completely straightforward. It's nice when it goes like that. This is one of the hardest battles in Yellow. I thought about him a lot more earlier into my making videos. Now I generally don't spend a ton of time thinking about Koga because I kind of know the ways to play around him. And like what you have to do to have success and what will not have success. Whereas before I didn't. It took time. Yeah, Snowy's typeless video is great. Highly recommend. I'm going to skip Blizzard because I'm doing rest strats. If you're not going to do rest strats and you're going to go for Earthquake, then skip the trainer and the TM in the SSN to save time. That's probably the highest, or like the that'll get the lowest time, but it won't be that consistent. Like I'm 100% sure that you'll get a better time if you use that strategy, but it'll be far more frustrating to play and it'll take longer. Like if you set 2 people down and the goal is to get the fastest Vaporeon time and they have 24 hours, I would vote on the rest strategy rather than the Earthquake strategy. But I think they both, like, with infinite time, the Earthquake strategy should outperform. Just because you save time in the SSN and then you can beat the champion, so you'll have less turns in battle if you're not using rest, everything like that. Okay, Quick Attack from the Ninetales is the perfect move that it can use, so Quick Attack Tail Whip is like, that's good. It's good it did that in that order. One hit the Rapidash and one hit the Arcanine. That was the best Blaine today. Really easy. I said no to the question. If you press B, it answers no, by the way. So you don't have to, like, move the cursor to select B, to select no. Just so you know. Yeah. Oh. X-Defend and Reflect. So yeah, we well, lots of X-Defends and Reflects apparently. She really wants that Alakazam to be untouchable from physical moves. Perfect play. Yeah, Tombstoner brother. Good to see there's some Gym Leader Matt fans in the chat. Alright, Giovanni, don't mess this up for me. Which game do you think will have more Pokemon that can't finish, Emerald or Platinum? Oh, that's hard. I don't know Platinum well enough to know what the, like, true problems are for most types. Whereas, like, I have a better sense for what the issues are in Emerald. I think Emerald will have more Pokemon that can't finish because Cynthia is not as much of a wall as Steven is. Like, Steven, because he's a Steel type and he has tons of Rock types, so many normal types are going to really have a hard time. Yeah, okay, Giovanni. Acid Armor. Oh gosh, Sand Attack is the worst. Let's go. Miss. I have lots of defense. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is this? Yeah, I'm not playing the post game in Platinum. That's true. I'm gonna move first, so I should use another one. Well, we are outspeeding now, so if we one hit the Persian, we're good. Nope. Well, guard spec, haha. That was a brutal reset. The Nidoqueen just, like, comes in with the crit, then the paralyze, then the knockout. Like, ugh. Yeah, Sand Attack's awful. It's always gonna spam Thunder. Always, it's gonna spam Thunder. If you're referring to the fact that it hit 3 times in a row, yeah, feels bad. Guard Spec does not make Thunder have... It does not. No way. Is that true? That's not true. I do not believe that. If it does, I'm going to have to go and replicate it so I can see it in the RAM. I realized I said I was going to go for Withdraw here, but I also noticed that this time I forgot my rare candies, so we're just going to set up Acid Armor right here. Then knock the... Oh, okay. I had to buy time for the, what's it called, to run out? Confusion. To run out. Yeah, I can just rare candy now, I think. Oh. Yep. What am I trying to do? Something else I'm trying to do. This. Our time is not good enough. It's not good enough. I think we're going to be slower. We're at least slower to this point, which is annoying. Okay. You hear the sigh of relief that I just made? I picked that up. Because we're gonna get to Lance probably just before 40 minutes. I think 43 to 44 is like that. I think that's just not true. I think it will be like 41 or 41 and a half. I don't think we're quite bad enough to be 43. Remember, it usually takes about 7 minutes from Giovanni to get to the end of the game. In like, you're going on decent pace. Let's go. Oh, it turn one. It rested turn one. That's frustrating. And then it crit me. Okay. Okay. Stop. Stop. Ugly dugong. Go. It has to set up turn two, so it's going to attack now. Okay. But it's fully set up by the time I'm attacking. Ooh, it got a drop there. Don't attack. Thank you. Okay, we need to get lucky now. I think I'm dead. I think this is the first... Yes, this is going to be reset. Okay. The time is probably going to be like 42 now, 43. It's like, it's supposed to take down first turn and then rest second turn. But because of how her AI works, it doesn't always do that. Which is frustrating. You have a, like, I think it's a 3 in 5 chance that it's gonna use takedown. But the other times it'll just do whatever it wants. It'll randomize its moves. It's very weird. It's one of the weirdest Pokemon in the game for how it works. Come on. Okay. Yeah, of course. There's like a huge bias against bad RNG because it feels like it's unfair when it's happening to you, but when it's happening to the opponent, you're like loving it, and it just gets lost in your mind. 100%. I have to rare candy here. Okay, if that had paralyzed me, I would have been so sad. Apparently sub 40 is really challenging. I think we are all a little bit optimistic about Vaporeon's abilities to do sub 40. I think it's possible, but I think it's harder than people expect. Like, it can. I'm 100% sure it can as well. But I just don't know that we're going to be able to do that every single time. I think to me it feels like this kind of like range of time. Oh my gosh. I think for me it feels like this range of time is much more realistic. Like a 42-43 minute finish on Vaporeon. Like I think if I like sat down and did it tomorrow again, I'd probably get around this time. Like 41, 42, 43, something like that. Depending on how I'm playing and how the RNG is going. I think sub 40 is like everything goes right. Oh, like the task will be like 25. Like let's be real. Like it's like we're playing by a totally different rule set if it's a task. Again, like I'm speaking within the confines of like my specific format, which is not a task. Because you have oh gosh. Well, that's unfortunate. Can we freeze? Oh, no, we can't. Okay. By the way, Leech Seed. That is a good move against Wailord. Just want to point that out. This has been disappointing. Oh no. See, it gets the combo if it goes for Thunder Wave, and then your speed is ruined. Uh-huh. So it was like second attempt or third attempt was the best. Cool. That's genuinely like, I noticed this happening like a decent amount with Pokemon where after you do 1 or 2 attempts, if you really figured the route out, then you start getting worse results for a little while. And then everything just kind of converges on one result. You're like, okay, well, I kind of got it now. There's always an outlier. Oh, that helped. Yeah, tasks you can just figure out the exact amount of RNG that you want. Like, oh, I need a Gen 1 miss on this Pokemon, so like I'll... Don't talk about it. It happens when you talk about it, apparently. Then I get stuck in this endless thing. Yeah, you can't turn off the animations for the champion battle. They're forced back on when you start the battle. I'm surprised people still don't know that. Oh, I guess that wasn't a Gen 1 miss because I had my accuracy cut earlier. Cloister's annoying. Okay. Alright, well... You know, I'm going to have to call it there. We can't continue this, but overall, I think my takeaways from these playthroughs are that previously I did a pretty good job with Vaporeon. I think that those videos are not maybe necessarily as old as I think they, like I feel like they are in my brain. Like in my brain it feels like they're really, oh, excuse me. I feel like they're really, really, really old and that I really need to improve my play, but they're not that old. I did a pretty good job with Vaporeon. Its time before was like 45.05. In this case, my best result today was like 42.36, I think. 42.36 is a really great time. One of the best times that I've got. So, here in this tier list right now. Before I said The result is slightly better than Nidoqueen and slightly worse than Vileplume. And that's a decent upgrade for Vaporeon today, so yeah. Sweet. Okay, let's watch the credits. So I've now done 6 Vaporeon runs. Unfortunately, we weren't. Bell curve when? I don't know. Probably not this year. Who do we fight? I think we fight Venusaur. This one's obvious. The Tauros has ridiculous moves. It loves to use, what's it called? Tail Whip and Leer, and then sometimes defense, Rage like that, which is frustrating, but you can usually badge boost here a lot and then sweep the rest of his team, so. We can also, we can't anymore because I lost Mimic, but we could have, ha! Yeah, there's the freeze I would have needed before on the other Executor. Come on. Would have been nice to have it now. Hopefully no sleep powder. Okay, Solar Beam, we're good. Continue using this on the Gyarados. It's ridiculously level 70. If it crits with Hyper Beam, it'll do a lot. But we're safe. Oh, okay, we're safe. Did it. Beat Oak. Ta-da. Okay. Now for some ridiculous trainer tips. I think it's this one. It's this one, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Trainer tips. Guard Spec protects Pokemon against special attacks, such as fire and water. Get your items at the Celadon department store. Ridiculous false advertising. So silly. Okay, I hope you had fun. I'll be back next week on Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, probably 15 minutes after that, so that I have time to get things set up. I'll be playing Jolteon then to try and improve its results. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you support me on Patreon or through YouTube memberships, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Now, if you made it this far, you're incredible. I'll see you on Saturday for another fully produced video.